what it was for.
Mm-hmm.
But on the post on the what is it on the post discharge paperwork, they had a C19 injection on there, so she doesn't know if she was given the injection while she was out or not. So they got to try to clear that up. They're probably going to say it's a clerical error, but that's how it goes. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wolf Commander Rambles. It is a lovely Thursday here out in the outskirts of outer space, in the outer rim, in the farthest most regions of the galaxy. This is Trooper FN2525 with my cohorts Brian Gilmartin and of course Wolf Commander. We are going to be here just talking about absolutely nothing. So thank you for joining us
We'll call this section "Word Around the Campfire."
today.
Yeah,
So
works for me.
yeah, no, it does, it does. So
It's just three little guys just singing "Row, row, row your boat."
Gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
I have nothing. I haven't really been keeping up with entertainment news. It's been a slow month. It's been a slow month.
I just happened
Yeah.
upon a video clip that was shared on Twitter one time. It was James Avery as Uncle Phil schooling Will Smith
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
on Malcolm X,
Oh well,
Ooh.
get this. Get this. What is it? It is.
and it triggered something that I spoke about last year, but I
Right.
know I should elaborate more on it, and or at least I think I spoke about it early this year about the
Mm,
whole rewriting our leaders and our heroes.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get worse, or at least
mm,
it's already happening as we speak in bits and in slow bits. But like the one thing that struck me was the way how Uncle Phil delivered it to Will, because Will in his own way was basically calling Phil a sellout,
mm,
or at least
Ooh.
that usual line of "you forgot where you came from." Now that you wear a suit, you living in a life of luxury. You left the ghetto and abandoned your people. That same whole talking point that a lot of black folk used to throw at successful black folk that
Mm.
they never
You you mean the Uncle Tom stuff, in other words, right?
yes, definitely yes. It's hey Melissa, but that really drew an ire of from Uncle Phil, and he brings up I love how he starts it off because Will even though he's talking all that good game, slamming him, right, he's
mm-hmm,
afraid to even look him in the eye as Phil is trying to give him his perspective or tell him his story. So he
Mm-hmm.
starts off by telling him like, look at me when I'm talking to you, and I was like, there you go, Phil, school this boy. And he says like you don't know my life. I grew up in the streets, and I dealt with bigotry way more than you can ever imagine. Now I see you got a nice poster of Malcolm X in your room. You know,
mm-hmm.
it's like he was like, but back then, I heard the man speak. I heard the brother speak, and I forgot what he said the line, but it was something about criticizing somebody before you get to know them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
But yeah, that's one thing that stuck out to me. It's like the one thing that stuck out to me was when he bring up the fact that Will has a poster of Malcolm X, and I see myself
Mm.
sometimes, and I think to the near future, right? And I get this
Mm-hmm.
young buck who probably only heard Malcolm X by the name,
Mm.
but I would probably tell him especially if they throw that shit at my face. If I ever become successful in some way or some form of capacity, I look at him like bruh. First of all, you ain't even saying his name, you ain't even saying his full title correctly. It's brother Malcolm X. Before you even think to say his name properly, you better address him as proper, brother Malcolm.
Mm.
And the next time you talk about Martin Luther King, you address him as such too, Doctor Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
I ain't put that in the the tweet thread. I said I like the fact that James Avery, or at least Uncle Phil, as a character, has said I heard the brother speak, meaning he never forgot that he was addressed as Brother Malcolm.
That's powerful stuff.
So I always tell people, it's like before y'all even say their names, say their titles as well. You remember, like, it's great that you remember their names, but
Yeah.
also remember their titles. So
Hmm.
remember that. Like, especially if you want to make a point about these black leaders, these black civil rights leaders, remember to always honor their title.
Hmm.
People tend to forget Martin Luther King was just as a minister before he was a civil rights leader, and people tend to forget that Brother Malcolm was also a speaker for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you know,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
of the Nation of Islam, and you know your name carries weight, but also your title is carried along with it.
Yeah.
Right.
But where my fears come into when I finished that video twice, rewatching it twice, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
is that eventually once they're done rewriting white man's history, they're gonna try to rewrite black man's history.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh
doing
yeah,
it
it
now.
never stops with those kind of
They're doing
people.
it now.
Yeah.
With all this migration stuff. This is something I was talking to my brother yesterday. Um,
Yeah.
because I was telling him, I'm like, look, they're bringing in groups that technically are diametrically opposed to African Americans now. So
Hmm.
so as much as you
Oh
don't
yeah.
hear about the war on whitey, the other thing that's going on too is now African Americans are being replaced. They're being
Hmm.
replaced by sub-Saharan African.
Indigenous, quote unquote, indigenous
Yeah.
others.
Quote unquote
Well,
indigenous.
and now it's coming out that a lot of these Haitians are being released into the country. So it's like you have groups that already don't like other groups. So
Right. They're gonna
Hmm.
balkanize if they
how
haven't already.
yeah, and how is that going to work when you have mainstream media, advocating for immediate release into the country? It's like, where is BLM and all this? Because they should be against all this now. So
Worse,
yeah, because
define the police. Well, like now they're gonna be really turned to the police for help. But unfortunately,
literally,
they are
After they just defunded them.
yeah,
well,
yeah,
yeah, they're understaffed. Well, they're underfunded,
Mhm.
understaffed, and under-equipped now.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
All because
And
defund the police because racism.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
and they never
nonsense.
and most of them never received any proper retraining, or any or lack of or have a lack of training for that matter.
They have not seen anything until they start getting Haitian voodoo gangs. Like I told you, privately, it's going to be turning into Predator 2.
Hmm.
So we
Could be
don't
even
have.
worse than
I was gonna say we don't have Danny Glover this time. I'm like, that's gonna suck.
He way too old for that shit,
Yeah.
anyways.
that. Yeah. It's probably gonna be like
Uh,
the game's state of emergency at one point.
Willie will see you now.
Thank you, come again.
This
It's
is, dude. That's Indian.
Oh, sorry.
like, oh no.
This is dread,
This is
truly
dread,
dread.
truly dreadful, man.
No more help for, no more for you here, detective.
Yeah, yeah, because you know what? They started initially I don't know what the deportation numbers look like because they keep lying out of their teeth. I originally came across numbers that were saying that they had deported up to 3,000 individuals. What they neglected to mention is that it was just 3,000 single family, or yeah, no, single male individuals.
Hmm.
Anyone with kids, anyone that's ready to pop. I mean, they left those here because I mean they're more interested in replacement numbers at this point. I mean, it's very apparent. Uh, you know, you know what ethnicities are trying to pump in now, and what I found really funny is I would think for health and safety is you would want to go ahead and start sending those family back first because they're the ones who are going to need more access to food and more access to medical care in their own country. Nope, we're not even doing that. So,
Mm.
up to 200 women that I know of are ready to pop over at that Del Rio border. And you know what
Oh, good
happens when they
grief.
pop? They get an automatic.
Make citizenship.
Yeah, yep, yep. They get the multi pass. multi pass,
Multi-pass.
multi pass. Yeah,
Multi.
Multi-pass.
yeah. They get a multi pass, and I'm like, man, I'm like, this is really terrible.
It
Uh,
means the welfare state is going to be taxed even further.
oh, bro, dude, everything's already like
Mm.
sideways, like
Belly up.
oh, yeah, a lot quicker for sure. A lot quicker for sure. I mean, we're going to, like, we fell off the slope. We're kind of like in free fall right now. I don't know what it looks like wherever we land, but it'll be very interesting. So, I
It'll be
mean,
a
you're gonna
hard
have.
landing, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're gonna
You
have.
can't see the eyes of demon till
Well,
him come calling.
well, get this. This is how incompetent our current administration is. It's like, okay, so even news reports have said that they've been able to identify up to about 47 known Taliban individuals within
Uh
Mm.
oh.
within that crowd of Afghans. And I know you guys have come across these articles too. How did 47 individuals just suddenly disappear? They lost track of them. That's so you mean to tell me they just kind of disappeared and they're in containment? They just disappeared in front of your face. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I know where
Because
this
no
is
one's
going.
watching these individuals.
Well, what it is too, if you think about it, it's in order for these freaking three-letter agencies to stay in power, they got to sow fear. So I mean, they have to literally create their own problem to stay in power. Because if everyone's finally getting along, then you don't need three-letter agencies like that. So
Nope.
yeah, so they're literally they're causing their own problem to provide the solution. Oh, we're going to
Mm.
be doing overtime looking for, domestic terrorists. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, we wouldn't have had this problem had you not leaked them into the population. But
Yeah,
here we are.
yeah. I think a
So,
young Ripper also brought that up too some
yeah,
years ago. That they're
yeah,
causing these problems and then acting like they've got the solution.
yep. And,
They
and
think they have the solution, and
yeah,
they
They
think they
don't.
have it
they
in
don't.
pocket size.
Yeah, so you're gonna get you're gonna get the. I keep saying it's gonna turn to Predator 2 because you're gonna have freaking African warlords running around the streets with
To
your
quote
Haitian.
Dan Glover in this one, and that
Yeah,
shit scares, and that scares the shit out of me, kid. No one requests to come here unless they looking for a reputation, and there's no room
yeah,
for showboats or anyone looking to prove himself. Now I won't stand for it. Now don't get me wrong. We need good cops down here, and they say you're good at what you do. But the team comes first. You live by that, and you'll be okay. And we'll all be there for you. Remember, the door swings both ways. That's it. Hey, kid, welcome to the war.
Yeah, that was
yeah, yeah.
badass.
And the other crazy part is it's like, okay, so you're gonna have those
Thanks,
that
Emily.
uh, you're gonna have that mentality, and then on top of that, you're also gonna have the Haitian voodoo gangs. You're gonna get those too. It's like you're gonna get those too, and it's like you're gonna have
I
that.
got this. I got these lines lined up for you guys. You ready for this one?
Uh,
What's that?
King Willie says, "Not only do I have to kill you, but I have to take your soul. Voodoo magic. Fucking
Ooh,
voodoo magic, man. But you know what? I tell you what I believe.
I'll tell you what I
Shit
believe.
happens.
Oh, it's like all these action movies are gonna come to life now.
That's
Right?
the only thing I remember from that scene.
Freaking, there's no stopping what can't be stopped. No
Oh, I know,
killing what
right?
can't be killed. Or his
Yeah,
last words. His foundation lies in the holy mountains.
yeah.
Selah.
Oh, yeah. No, no. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna
Yeah.
get
But
weird.
I
Like,
was like this opening line when you first meet him. They say you want to talk to me. They say you offer me favors. Tell me why, Babylon, Mr. Policeman.
and
Oh
these
yeah.
these people with open arms, and I'm like, you do realize this phenomenon is really just relegated to first world countries. It's not happening in the third world. I don't see people freaking trying to knock down the border, trying to
Nope.
get to what's a good one? Um, you know what? I won't even use the third world. we'll use the European countries. I don't see people freaking trying to freaking bust down the border trying to get into Montenegro. I don't.
Nope.
So
And it's exclusively happening in America right now too.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're what we're getting now is what they did to, and
Mm.
it's all
It's
these
what happened in Cologne,
globalists and stuff like
basically.
that. Well, this is what was going on in Europe in around 2012 with the migrant invasion, and that all
Mm.
started with 44. So it's like, oh, we got to take all these people in. We got to take all these people in, actually, and and
It's
it's
like, yeah,
like,
you're welcome with open arms. Then they chop those arms off.
well, yeah, I mean, they get here, they're not looking to assimilate. If anything, they're looking to abuse you know, the the more or less all
The
those
Gibbs.
tools and all those entitlements that we have already set up for our own population. They're looking to abuse the system to still do whatever it is they're going to do. I mean,
Hey, Eloise.
Hey.
so yeah, so there's that. But I mean, the other thing, the other thing I was going to say, you notice how everybody's just kind of not talking about Shang-Chi anymore, even on YouTube. You notice that?
Hmm. I
Yeah,
wasn't even thinking about
Yeah,
Shang-Chi lately. I go
yeah,
by
you
other
notice
stuff.
that? Yeah. Well, um, probably
I'm not
because
thinking. I wasn't barely thinking about it.
we're close to 20 days into this freaking cluster, and this thing has only made about $325 million.
And the
It
Still
has
target
not even.
was?
it has not even crossed numbers like the Incredible Hulk. Like the Incredible Hulk was 334. This thing has stalled, dude.
Hmm.
So yeah, yeah. So and again, this is what happens when you release a film during a holiday weekend. You're going to get a turnout because it's a holiday weekend. They're not necessarily there to
What
see the
was it released next to again? Remind me.
film.
There's at least next to Dune, I believe.
No, 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 no. Dune's already out internationally.
Yes.
Internationally, it's already made about 36 million
Oh, I must be
globally.
thinking of
Like
something
we're
else
getting
then.
it here in October. We're getting it here mid October.
Free Guy was released right after it.
Yeah. Do you have the numbers on Free Guy? I don't have the numbers on Free Guy.
Let me look up Free Guy.
I just have the Predator theme on loop
Nice.
in my second audio channel.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't have any Star
Mind
Destroyers.
you, I'm getting this from IMDb.
Yeah, yeah. The numbers always change, but
It's not my trusted source, but it's the source I'm on right now.
their numbers tend to be semi-accurate. They haven't been with Shang-Chi at all. They really haven't, but
Let me see. Box
because they
office.
fudged those opening numbers so hard, dude. I mean, they were looking for a win. I don't know if they're going to get it. I mean, they're close to 20 days in. These films are only tracked about the first 30 days. So I
Here's
mean,
the
unless it can make 10 mil in the next freaking what 10
here's
15 days?
here's box office.
What do you got?
US and that's US and Canada.
Right, right.
Let's see.
And I'm gonna
109.
yeah.
Okay.
This is opening week right here.
That's actually that opened larger than Black Widow. Remember how they were pushing the 82 million and it was like literally
Yep.
2 billion from Disney Plus? Yeah.
Yep.
And what's
Now
the
here's worldwide.
that's not necessarily bad.
That's what I was about to say when I
It
saw. I was like, oh, decent.
see, there's a difference between public opinion and commercially accepted film.
Yep.
So granted,
Like Samuel's
it only
comment.
made
Hang
a
on,
little over
hang on,
300 million.
hang on, hang on. Let me answer that real quick.
I'm not into guys with vaginas.
I'm sorry, Sally. I had to break that. I had to throw that at you.
As long as they can hold on to, as long as they can hold on to Bolsonaro, they might actually have a chance. So,
Hey,
and there's
I think
big
they like
support.
I think they like Finnish men over there though. I think
Like
they like
there's
any European dude over there.
yeah, any anyway, dude, we'll hit it big over there.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say, as long as they hold on to Bolsonaro, they should be all right. So
Right.
the funny part was it's the you this cluster of what would I call it? I don't want to call it the F word. Anyway, the S show that they call the UN basically now started saying that their dignitaries need to be jibbed in order to gain access. So Bolsonaro's not jibbed; he's not getting jibbed. So,
Yep.
and I think Russia also protested that as well. Like they were not happy about that because a lot of people aren't looking to get that. So anyway, yeah. So Bolsonaro had to like eat, had to kind of eat on the street. So I mean, you got that wonderful photo op with him and his detail just eating pizza on the street. That hit big in Brazil. Like they love that dude. Like they see him as an everyman over there. So, but you had the mainstream media. Oh, oh, look, he's not masked and he's not social distancing. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you care? It's like he's not even your leader, dude. I'm like, your leader's literally like, crapping himself. So,
Look, man.
He's a man diaper.
right? There's
Look,
so much
man.
stuff
Throw that
that's
shit
mad
at
about
the
that dude.
Obamas, not anybody else's. Like America. At this point, America needs to be taking care of America problems, anyways.
Yeah.
We should have been at that moment since say after 9/11 hit. Like America needs to start taking care of America problems at this point.
It's gonna be hard, dude, because even at that freaking UN at that UN meeting, I know this dude only knows how to read out of a teleprompter, but it's his message basically was like this decade needs to be taken advantage of so it can be a globalist decade. In other words, do away with you know do well. I mean, eventually the ultimate goal is to do away with borders because that's what an open society is. But um, yeah, no, basically at this point is they want to take advantage of their opportunity with COOF and all that because it's giving them
I'm
the doorway that
sorry. Whenever
eventually
time you bring that up with the whole free border shit, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
like when I think of that shit, I keep reminiscing back to Chad and Chaz or Chud or whatever the fuck that shit used to be called, and look at how that shit turned out. There's a reason
Uh,
why most hippie
Chaz and Chop.
communities,
Chaz and Chop.
yeah. Well, I'm saying there's a reason why most hippie communities do last and some don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm getting at. It's like so, like these weirdos don't know how to build infrastructure. That's the easiest way for me to put it. Anywhere outside the first world, they don't know how to do that. You have
They
to
didn't
have.
even set up a comedy in that that quote unquote sovereign community.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, we saw a
Yeah.
little bit of that with
So
Chopped as
you
well as
have other.
Occupy Wall Street too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they
So
don't know how to like, be civilized like that.
no, and this is
Well,
the
they didn't
problem.
even attempt to build it.
Well, this
That's
is
the
the
thing.
problem that we have. We have this dialectic. We really do, where you have people that are, oh, you're either team A or team B, and that to me is a problem. It's like it's it's more than that. So whenever we talk about populism, that's economic because that's money talks to people. So if you can relate to people on an economic platform, people will be more apt to listen to you.
If you build
But
it, they will come.
by doing this two-party system, we've essentially allowed ourselves to slowly move in the direction that we're moving into. It's just now it's more apparent because it's 2021. So
Yeah.
like it's
COVID
no
made it even
longer
worse.
yeah, it's no longer, 1980 or, 1950s and all that stuff. Like we're
Good
slowly
job.
progressing.
Now watch Kill or Kill.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I find it very interesting with all the stuff that's going on that, everyone was all about talking about, Shang-Chi and then it kind of died out.
Eventually, it was going to like. What more can
Well,
you say
here's the
about
thing.
that?
Here's the thing. There is like no buzz for any of these pop culture franchises.
Unless some SJ hobo brings it up
Yeah,
in an attempt to one up somebody,
And they're usually
you
just
know.
trying to plant a flag anyway.
much like they're still trying to bring up New Ra just to one up on somebody. like somebody bring up the argument about it having 5 seasons. Like 5 seasons ain't gonna do you shit if the story is still shit.
Right.
Right.
Like fucking any other show that lasts at least like up to 20 seasons is not really a measure of how great a show is. Quantity does not dictate quality.
No, it does not.
Like The Simpsons pretty much lost their luster at least around season 20, which I haven't even watched. I don't
Yep.
even know which season I stopped at this point. I
Right.
just know that one episode was enough to make me stop because this was telling me that they weren't going to do the most daring thing they were ever going to do, which is kill off Homer, which you can replace him with any other voice actor all you want. It's not going to be the same Homer, especially especially in the case of characterizations concerned. But at that point, it's like, dude, why don't y'all take some chances and make the kids grow up? Make Marge get a job or something.
Hmm.
You know, let the matriarch die and see how the family handles without him, or at least see what life would be like without Homer. Like make that shit permanent and challenge that. I mean, you already killed off Dr. Nick in the movie.
Right.
You killed off
Right.
Maud, Kerbopple.
Mhm.
Like you couldn't do that with Homer, especially with the voice actor passing away too. The
Yeah.
original voice actor. It's like you can't like, oh, God forbid we do that, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
What'd you send me, Trooper?
Oh, just article, just so you can kind of look at
I
and
know
laugh.
it's an article. It's talking
Yeah.
about China again.
Basically, we're buying drones from China. Figure that one
Mm.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
out.
How much
That
you
is
how
ridiculous.
much
What is it? I think it's
so place your bets on how well they work.
one. They probably don't, and two, they probably already have technology that they can more or less hack. So it's like
Hmm.
you're literally giving these people a backdoor into looking into stuff. What was it?
Keep them rich and we stay poor
What was it?
Pretty
It's
and
much.
still owing
there's
them
a
shit.
there's a country out there. It's not Slovenia. Slovenia is having their own protests right now. I want to say, gosh, which one is it? Man, there's so much freaking news that happens all the time. Anyway, it has to do with these Xiaomi phones. Like one of the European countries is telling their populace to get rid of them. You know, to get rid of the Xiaomi phones. Let me see if I can find it, just so I can show you because uh, of the listening tech they're finding in these phones. It's retarded. I'll see if I can find it for you. But you know, this is all like back office talk. Let's see.
Right.
Because I
At
find it
this
funny. Anytime that countries end up buying technology from this particular country, they always usually get burned by it, and it's like you should know this by now. It's
Mhm.
like
it's like what I said about the victim thing la, uh, la, day before yesterday.
hmm
Right.
It's like any future victim should learn from other victims or past victims at this point.
They
It's like
really should.
once you see it on the news, even when you watch it in the movies. I mean, movies tell some truth to how these encounters happen,
that's what it was. Lithuania.
but but they never. But again, they never think that. It's like most of the times when they do, they think, oh, I can do better, or I could do something different. Like, no, you cannot.
Nope.
Yeah.
You if you're not even taking steps to do any better than the previous victim, then you should not be talking a good game about that.
Nope.
I always
Yeah.
imagine myself in certain scenarios. It's like, what would I do in this situation? I always I always think about I never think about the Superman aspect or Superman side of the situation. I always think of the worst case scenario
No. Yeah.
if I was in a
Yep.
situation. Either like think of an idea of somebody run up to me with a knife.
Right.
I have
Right.
to mentally prepare myself to get stabbed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's around the corner too. So.
As I'm
Mhm.
saying, it's like you guys gotta mentally prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. Never think about what you would do in a situation if you're not a trained professional,
Right.
or at least you're not a trained professional in hand to hand combat or self defense. You
Yeah.
should not be. You as a person who hasn't had that type of training should not be thinking of a Superman scenario. You should
Yeah,
be
it's
thinking
very true. Very
you should
true.
be thinking about the worst case scenario and how would you react in that situation. So I'm like, if I got
Mhm.
shot, will I scream at the top of my lungs, or will I just, or I wouldn't even notice until the shock happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that reaction time. I mean, those seconds are valuable. Like if you're not set up for it, forget it.
Mm,
So and that happens to that can happen to even someone who's already been trained for it. If you're not like if you're if you don't have your CCW and you're not if you're not protecting yourself using your 2A, and at this point there's no reason not to.
mm,
Not that I'm saying, oh, by the way, you should always run around with your 2A. No, what I'm saying is that if you have a 2A, you should always exercise that right to use it. But
yep.
if you're not
Mhm.
mentally prepared, it's like those seconds can cost you because it what to pull what's it? I think to pull a gun. I want to say it's what 9 to well, I want to say it's less than 9 seconds for me, but it can be anywhere between 9 and 13 seconds.
Mm,
And you got and while you have this person, with a blunt or a sharp object coming at you. So, but
and
that's
no,
the other
and
thing
even
too. If
and
it's
even
sharp
in
or
a
blunt
violence,
object, so it's like
sorry,
if it's a sharp object, yeah, it's
sorry,
different. So,
even in a violent scenario where fisticuffs is happening, you do not go in that. You put it like this: you do not go into that scenario thinking that you're not going to get hit,
yeah.
No,
let
you do
alone,
not.
or at least you damn sure better not think that you're going to go in that scenario thinking you're not going to get hit in the face. Because
Hmm.
I again, that's why I always do. I tend to think of the worst case scenarios of any situation happening. It's like at some point I'm gonna get hit in the face, and I know I've never been knocked out in my life, like really like knocked on my ass and passed out,
Mhm.
and I couldn't even tell you what that experience is like.
Hmm.
I can only ask MMA fighters or
Right.
any person who's been in a serious fisticuffs that got knocked out. I would.
Right.
It's like man, in the fight scenario, it's like my mind mentally prepares like not the face, not the face, not the face, not the face, no 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 no, not my face.
Not the
And,
face.
and I just know it's in some case scenarios like there were moments where I did get hit in the face and I reacted in kind
Mm-mm.
where I just lost myself. It's like you hit me in the face, you're gonna die. And it's
Yeah.
not like I'm trying to stay pretty or anything. That's just that's just the ego eating at me. It's like you had the audacity to hit me in the face. You could have
Yeah.
hit nowhere else but the face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could have hit anywhere else, but you chose the face. That's the audacity right there.
That's deliberate.
That's like no Vegas situation where my face, my beautiful face, you bitch, I'll make you suffer.
I was just about to say, like you wait till
Yeah,
make you suffer.
wildfire, don't give it from me. Wildfire, don't
That's a
take it
great
from
song, by
me.
the way.
What's up?
That's a great song.
Yeah.
I know Troopers heard it.
No, so yeah, no, I mean it's some crazy stuff. That's all I can say. There's so much stuff
Messed
going
off.
on right now.
That's for certain.
Yeah, well, heck, you already
No, was
had
just
an
talking about
article
Game of
coming out.
Thrones, the House of the Dragon.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not even open to a prequel story being told by the same writers that fucked up the last seasons of it.
Oh, we got a Dread 2012 Death is here.
Yeah, I was about to point him out. He's like chilling, but is there chili? Is it good? The answer
That's a
to
great
all that
opener.
after a day's broiling of meat and beans in a pot with peppers, onions, and sauce.
That guy's gonna make so many people hungry with that comment.
Uh,
Oh my god, Aaron, you're so fucking cool. Holy
yeah, I
shit.
gotta figure out what am I gonna have for lunch today. I haven't figured that out yet, so we'll see. I'm thinking Grubhub, but Grubhub is gay, so we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. That's nice of you to say. Says we enjoy the streams. Sometimes our pad messes up, and we enjoy the streams. And thanks for having me and Jake. Always. Hey, Fish Ozo.
Hey, Fish Jozo, good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, you want? You know what? I'm gonna do that beforehand before he asks.
All right.
Four is the more the merrier.
Definitely.
I did enjoy his company Tuesday.
That was fun when he came on.
If he
Yeah.
got time.
It's all on
Like
you, man.
I showed you that article, dude. It's like they haven't even been in the country for a hot minute, and you're already starting to get crimes. It's.
No,
Did
Yeah.
you see the what is it the two dudes
they
charged
knew
with
this shit was gonna
child
happen.
rape? Yeah,
They
well, I'm
couldn't.
telling
There's no
you.
way they couldn't have known.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, no. It's what is
It's
it?
what they've been hoping for the
It's what they've
longest
been
time. They
hoping
want
for. It's what they've been hoping for.
chaos, organized chaos,
And
or at least some, or just chaos
I'm
in general.
surprised. I'm surprised Nevada didn't take more than what we took because Sisolak is like all about that stuff. He loves drinking government money. He only took 150. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've saddled about 4,000. Yeah, 4,000 in Texas. California
Right.
happily took 5,000. So,
Right.
and those
Like
are just
sucking on the
reported
government
numbers. There's
cheek.
more that are going to be coming out. There's going to be more that are going to be coming out as they keep processed. In other words, they as they're getting horse dewormer for
Look,
parasites, of course, not for
only
poop.
type of military
So,
that I welcome greatly that will step in and keep to like take control of this shit. The Spartans,
Is
as
this
they were
Sparta?
right.
not that Spartan.
Oh.
Oh goodness, dude.
Oh,
Oh
Halo.
goodness.
I need a gun.
I need a weapon.
Right.
Like
I don't know.
like if you guys know what the Spartans were originally built for, and this and way before the Covenant even showed up, it's like at one point. On one hand, you're kind of mad that that's what they were built for, but on the other hand, you're kind of glad that they were built in the first place. And I'm not saying built as in they were robots. It's like the Spartan program was there. It came at the time. It came at the right time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right place, right time.
Because they were meant for insurgents.
Yep.
They were meant for insurgents or any type of rebellion towards the government at hand, and then they had a new enemy joining the fray, and suddenly it's like we're actually gonna just overlook that detail for the
Yep.
greater for really what I would like to call the greater good,
Mm-hmm.
the greater good of humanity. It's like like we're gonna come back to it when this war is over, if it ever is over. You know, yeah. We was talking about Spartans from Halo,
Yeah.
and girl, get you some sleep.
There we go.
Here, I'll give you the best motivation. Give me a sec. Here's the best motivation for you.
Well, that may just work actually. But you know what might work better? Going the fuck to sleep!
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best reaction to
Yeah.
that.
You keep slamming us with the damn oracles.
Well, that's the other thing that's going on today.
I'm gonna call you an oracle dealer.
Like freaking the LDS Church suddenly now wants to go ahead and put in quote unquote temporary mask mandates.
I knew the Mormons were fucking pussies.
Well, no, it gets
Oh,
better
yeah.
because I mean, this is on the heels of freaking the Pope saying that if you want to come into Vatican City or the Vatican, you need to have a mask and
Oh,
your
good
quote
grief.
unquote green pass. So now, Big Papa over there wants you to have your COOF passport to be able to worship. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's not how this works, but I mean, if Catholics want to go
Hey,
ahead and roll over
man,
like that,
hey,
that's
woman.
by all means.
Wait, that was those were
Hey, trans A furry.
A by.
I don't even want furries anywhere near the fucking church. They already see us as demons, anyways.
No.
Demon's not even a furry yet. That's part. Well, not technically part of the furry community. It's just there as a subcategory under mythology
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
But other than
That's
that,
pretty much
like
all that's going on today. I mean, there's really not a whole lot going on. So
at best, the only thing I could say is what's probably going to be happening in the near future of the show,
Yeah.
which what's going to be happening next month,
hmm
and what's going to be happening probably next week. I think next week will be a good start to do manga read of Inuyashiki.
okay.
From what we touched base, it seems like everybody was busying themselves with it for a while.
hmm
So I think next week will be a good idea to start doing it. And we'll still keep the manga on the side for clip notes or notes period.
Yeah.
And we can also even cross reference with the anime for that matter too, for those who I gave the anime to
hmm
to check out. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about Inuyashiki again for manga study next Tuesday.
Sounds good to me.
Fucking Schooner and Trooper overachievers. It's like damn guys, you guys.
Okay.
It's like I have to expect you guys to procrastinate sometimes, just a little bit. But damn, y'all get to work. I think it's because y'all white.
Well,
hmm
I normally wait till last minute, and then it just kind of burn through it.
hmm Like
Yeah,
me sometimes.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't miss anything. So
And the
got
first
it.
5 chapters.
I got it.
What'd you say, Trooper?
I think this mic cut off there for a second.
It did.
It might have. It might have. It's been a little choppy the last few days, but
hmm What I was gonna
no big
say
deal.
was the first 5 chapters is good enough for us to jump off of because there's some details to talk about
hmm
without spoiling much of anything happening. Like I already checked the ending of chapter 5. I was like, oh, this is really good to stop off on, or it's good enough to stop off to really talk about the superhero aspect of the
hmm
story
Yeah.
because that's basically what it is. It's basically just the writer's way of telling a superhero story, much in a way much better than freaking M Night Shyamalan.
hmm
If I had to give it a comparison,
hmm
hmm
it's like an as far as like unorthodox superhero storytelling, or at least you're getting the superhero perspective through the Japanese eyes, especially when they look back to our Western storytelling,
Oh yeah.
and
Don't even
they
get me
offer.
started on that.
Well, no, the Western storytelling of old,
oh.
not the now Western storytelling. This came from the West. This is basically inspired from the Western storytelling from old.
Mm.
So they you kind of throughout that story you kind of it's kind of ironic that you that he's best known for Gantz, but then when you go through Inuyashiki, you kind of see the kind of influences that led him to that story. At least you kind of see a little bit of himself in that story in a way. I kind of interpret it that way.
Mm.
hmm
Eloise is a busy woman.
hmm
Welcome to adult, everybody.
Yep.
Where you
Welcome to
gotta pay for
adulthood.
your own, where you gotta pay for your own shit, live your own rent, buy your own car,
Yep.
just basically build your own bomb.
Build your own
Yeah.
mousetrap.
No, the nice part is when you pay off your vehicle. It's like you just literally it's just maintenance and insurance at that point. And mostly it's mostly little things here and there, but it's nice not having a car payment. Like
Overtime, yeah.
that was one of my main things last year. I had to kind of suck it up and pay the whole thing off all at once, which is not what I wanted to do, but It's nice not having to sit there and keep up with it in terms of. Well, for me, I just had it like just had the auto debit. It was just easier that way. But I
The
was like,
auto
man,
pay,
I
yeah.
got. Yeah, I was like, I can't play around with this. So I paid the whole thing off. So that's the nice part about once as an adult, once you have property and you don't have to pay on it, it's kind of nice. It's just yours.
Hmm.
So
Capitalism, baby.
well, I was thinking about getting a Ford Edge, but I'm like, I'm like, I keep thinking, I don't know if I want to get into another vehicle right now. It's like, and if I would, I'd probably hold on to the one I have right now.
Regular Joe.
Hmm.
So we'll see, because like,
It's funny because I had my Rav4 from Toyota for a good like 10 years before I ended up trading it in.
yeah, well, my whole thing is I ended up with a four-cylinder of all things. It's not what I wanted, but
Hmm.
it's what I ended up getting into at the time because I like the car. So and it was it was an Obama
So,
car of all things. So
so just aside, we all are in agreement on the 25th of October to do the Vampire Hunter D rewatch.
yeah, if you
Vampire
want,
Hunter D.
yeah, and we'll
Bloodlust.
just yeah, we'll
Plus, I
just
don't think I've seen that one. I forget which Vampire Hunter D I saw.
There's two different ones and two different animation styles, dude. I'm pretty sure you can differentiate.
I've only seen one, so I can't say for sure.
Oh shit, the 25th is on a Monday.
Yeah, it would have to be the 26th then.
Fuck it, 26.
that Tuesday. So
Yep, that Tuesday. So I'll set that
let's
up
see.
ahead of time. Um,
Hmm.
Yeah, because we got to figure that out. Like if we're gonna pre-tape or if we're doing it live. You know, it
fuck
might.
it, we'll do it live.
Because I was gonna
Yep,
say it
do it
might be better
live.
off at the pre-tape and then just release it on the as
Yeah,
a
I know a
premiere
lot
on
of people are doing
31st.
their holiday thing.
Yeah. So we'll see. Doesn't matter. Let's
Hmm.
see.
Well, you're a bear. You're in You're past your hibernation.
Mm.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the money in your pocket. I mean, who? Why wouldn't you? It's money that you hold in your hand that you earn. You should feel proud to have that money in your pocket. They always like to tell us money ain't everything, but like, damn it, it's nice to
Uh,
have money.
I hate to say it, but it almost is because it's a unit of energy. It's a unit of
Yeah,
time.
Hmm.
yeah.
That's the one thing a lot of young people, such as myself, being
Hmm.
raised by boomers,
Yeah.
you know, don't really hear too often of, if you will. Because what tends to happen is you have parents that pretty much throw their kids at the system in hopes that the system tells them these things. They don't. I mean, it's not their responsibility to do so. So I mean, financial irresponsibility is almost built into this particular system. So
Hmm.
I mean, unless you're teaching a kid how to invest
Well, it's
in
kids being raised by
how
kids.
to,
Let's just not be around the bush. There, it's
yeah,
if
like how to invest
yeah.
or to have
Hmm.
precious metals, and at the same time, own property and stuff like that, then it's a self-perpetuating system where if you're not taught, then guess what? You're
Hmm.
dependent on the system. So, and the
Hmm.
whole point is not to be dependent on the system.
Right.
That's why governments are able to do what they've been doing lately at the pace that they've been doing it because most people are dependent on that system. I mean, look at what Australia did. Their
Turn them
construction
into
workers,
codependency. Basically,
yeah,
just
their
raise people
construction
to be
workers went on
codependent.
protest, and then the next thing, Australia was like, "Well, we're going to go ahead and put a ban on further construction for the time being." So now all the construction workers in Australia are out of work. So
Yep.
yeah, so
Somebody
I
needs
mean,
to put them in front of the freaking Lorax and make them watch that shit.
well,
Hmm.
unfortunately, I would say I would agree yes to that, but unfortunately, it's we've
And I'm not talking about the
We've
fucking
passed the Rubicon. We've passed
Illumination version.
so
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the
yeah, I have
freaking Chuck Jones version.
the little animated version. So
Because the Onceler asks him, it's like what about the employees that I have? They have families to feed, they have homes to maintain. I can't simply fire them. You you know that's a good point, but I don't see any other answer. I don't really have another answer for that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of things, though. It's like when you really
Yep.
think about it,
well, in
nobody always had the
2021,
answer,
in
but
2021,
people like to
you can
pretend they
do
do.
yeah, you can do the non-answer now, and that's permissible in 2021. So
Oh goodness,
you
the
don't have to answer the
non-answer.
question anymore. It's like you don't have to be responsible. So
They take away the answer, right?
well, yeah, because I mean, if you know the answer to the question, then you can more or less figure out your own problem. They take away the answer to your particular question, and then guess what? You end up being dependent on government some way or another. So,
That and, they try to control the answer too.
but at the same time, it also, it inherently will usually, not always, but usually make you kind of sidestep away from government, and that's why we also get this type of situation as well. Because the less you interact with it, the ones that are dependent on it or
Mm-hmm.
have figured out how to pilfer it will, and those are the
Hey
people that
Fizz,
Hey,
becoming
Pez.
hey.
Okay.
So yeah, so those are the people that more or less become the people who rule over you. Hey, what's up, man?
All right. Yeah, yeah. By the way, somebody last time yesterday, asked me about what I would do with metamorpho. Um.
me.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
was
yeah.
me.
Okay. Yesterday I read. I started to read a bunch of old metamorpho comics online,
Mm-hmm.
and first of all, the character isn't that interesting. Uh. Uh. Because
Mm.
yeah, it says I work
You
because
don't lead off with that, man.
okay. In general, okay, but it comes off talking about the actual character himself. Comes off kind of like a low rate version of Plastic Man, but okay, but anyway, and
Mm-hmm.
but thing is, okay, what I would do a metamorpho as I go full just Egyptian mythology. Since do you know Metamorpho's origin?
Yeah, I know his origin. How he got his powers, Egyptian and related.
Yeah, I would have I would have Metamorpho. Okay, but he's not the only one. Even in the 60 series, you say he's not the only one. He's apparently Rye may have a bunch of others, but I'll have Metamorpho fight against a Pep and Pep's main servant in my in will be Collis.
Mm.
Uh, I kind of mixed the two versions of Collis we got. No, Collis
You
is
know, I
Mummy.
think it's time for another fancy studio office.
Mm.
What's
Now, what
fancy
we'll be
to
talking about? Oh, fancy studio office. That's a type of segment that we do when we do creative thinking, or at least
Okay.
Yeah.
what we do if we were our own studio.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when you think of fancy football.
mm,
It's like
yeah.
what would you do if you were in that industry? Like as a studio, like what would we as a studio together create? We did one on Marvel Phase 4
Right.
for
Nah,
art.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I might not have not discovered your channel yet.
Yeah, exactly. And the second time we did what we would have done if we were creating the DCEU.
That was a fun one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see that one either.
Yeah, that's the one where actually that's where the broke down videos that I did for that are titled
Mm.
DCEU rights.
Right.
That's our stream for what we did if we were helming the DCEU. I'm gonna break down the phase 4 ones too pretty soon.
Mm,
So you guys can hear us talk about what we do if we were doing phase 4
mm,
of
Right.
Marvel.
mm,
And that was that one right there, that one was a little different because it was based around my rewrite of Endgame.
Right.
mm,
So that's where those came about. Like that's how I led off with that fancy studio was we'll be working around we're working off our my rewrite of Endgame because I didn't like the ending the ending to Endgame.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I like the big action final act, but
Mhm.
all I needed was a few alterations, and
Mhm.
I'd be fully committed with that one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
No,
Like
I did, yeah, I didn't like how Steve just gave the shield to Sam at the end. Like
yeah
it didn't make any
yeah
sense.
you know in my rewrite he would have given to Bucky.
I know,
Bucky
like I don't,
deserves
cause
it
that
far more.
I know, but they had to do that because politics.
Duh.
Duh.
Uh,
Like,
I'm not throwing that at you. By the way,
mm, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just that was a reaction. That was reaction. That
Uh,
was
uh,
all
Same.
reaction.
by the
We
way,
all
it
kind
doesn't
of
even make
saw
any
that
sense
coming.
Hang
because it
on.
doesn't make any sense because in Iron Man 3 nobody had a problem with Rhodey when he was dressed up in red, white, and blue and wore Iron Patriot armor.
Right.
So how the hell they got a problem with Sam Wilson being Captain America if they had no problem with Rhodey being dressed in
Right.
white, and blue?
I had a problem with Rhodey being the Iron Patriot.
And no,
I,
nobody had a problem with him being
I
Rhodey
guess
in universe. In
I
universe.
what I'm saying is I guess I was one of the few that had a problem with it. It's like why is he Iron Patriot?
Mm.
Hmm.
He was
But
War Machine in the last movie. I was cool with him being War Machine.
mm. And then they went back to War Machine again. But
Yeah.
that's a strange thing. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a strange thing.
But
Uh,
you want to hear what I would have done in during Endgame?
what?
What's that?
Because I'm pretty sure you would like how I would have written Captain Marvel in her entrance. First of all, I would have rewritten her whole movie for one, and I'll have her recap. I'll have her as a different cast, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But
Right.
my rewrite would have been while Thanos was attacking them with the bombardment, right? Instead of Captain Marvel coming in to shatter his ship, a helicarrier pops in through the sky to contend with the Mad Titan ship. And
Mm.
who will be piloting or at least commanding this ship? None other than Nick Fury.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Of course. That makes more sense. But they had to get Captain Marvel in there somehow.
It's like, well, the thing is
Right.
the reason why I would throw that in there because in every Avenger situation, Shield was there.
Mm.
Like
Right.
even in Age of Ultron, despite Shield being quote unquote disbanded, they popped in when the Avengers needed them to count, right?
Right.
So like even at the end of Infinity War, you saw Nick Fury and Maria Hill disappear, which means that's what heightened the stakes right there was, you know, even in Infinity War, Shield wasn't there to help them out, and worse, Shield's not going to be there to bail them out in Endgame, at least until the snap gets undone. So I was hoping that Shield was going to pop in at some point. I was like Shield ain't gonna pop in at this point. This would be a good time. So that's why I would put Shield in. Now Shield, even though Shield is providing the reinforcements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they already have the reinforcements with Wakanda and the sorcerers, but that's added extra firepower to help them out against Thanos to keep Thanos shit distracted. You know, you get the shield helicarriers getting, you know, not necessarily trash, but it's like you know it's still like not doing it's like it's not
Mm-hmm.
it's barely denting the ship. That is until Captain Marvel shows up, and then you get that call back with Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. You know, she disables a ship. She flies up to the bridge, and she waves to him, and he says to her, "Go get him, Captain."
That'd
You
be
know,
way better than the way they did it.
yeah. It's like she came there looking for Nick Fury for a time, right? So why couldn't you give her that? It's like pretty much if in my Captain Marvel rewrite, she would have been good friends of Nick Fury by that point,
Mm-hmm.
and not the way how they and not the way how they portrayed Nick Fury in that movie, let alone how they
Right.
supposedly we're supposed to believe that they're good friends.
Yeah.
And the
Instead, he
cat
was like
scratches his
her
eye out.
bitch in that movie.
Yeah,
And cat scratches his eye out.
first of all I'll rewrite how he lost his eye.
Like seriously. Like yeah. Remember you said Captain America Winter Soldier?
Yep.
Mhm.
Last
Last
time I
time I
trust.
trusted someone, I lost a die.
Yep. See, in that like that crash there,
Mhm.
when the Skrull revealed himself and he had that car crash, that would have been a golden opportunity to scratch his eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right there. I was hoping that was going to happen. I was really hoping that he was going to get injured right there and get his eye injury. Right there.
Instead, they had the stupid cat do it.
They trip. It's like they want to trivialize every damn thing. They treat things like toys. But I digress. But that's basically what Phase 4 was working off of. My complete total rewrite of the final act of Endgame. And of course, what happens prior to that rewrite was, here are the cliff notes. Captain America is going to take a vacation. He's going to spend some time with Sharon Carter, not Peggy.
Right.
That ship has already sailed. He's done. He's moved on. He's got Sharon now. He's going to take a long break with Sharon, but he will return as director of Shield. But he will still carry the title Captain America. But for a time, the next Captain America movie will be in my section of the Phase 4. I was going to write Captain America, but as Bucky as the Captain America, and what he was going to be doing in that movie was train the next West Coast Avengers,
Oh, nice.
and that will be our introduction to Squirrel Girl.
Mhm.
Why do you want Squirrel Girl? I mean,
Why not?
do you want the old Squirrel Girl or the new, no, the
I
modern
want
Squirrel?
the old Squirrel Girl. This is not going to be Bucktooth Bi Squirrel Girl. This is going to be
Mm.
funny, fun personified old school Squirrel Girl.
It won't be
That
fat like the new one, I guess.
Oh
Mhm.
no, she just thick, but her she got a butter face.
Mhm.
That's the problem I had with her. She had a butter face.
Mm,
Everything
mm,
looked good on her body, but her face.
Yeah, the
mm.
butterface.
Yeah, that's the only problem I had with that design was her butter face. When a cosplayer make Squirrel Girl, the new Squirrel look of Squirrel Girl look good, and the comic book version don't look good, you got problems with me. Anyways,
Oh, you're damn
so
right.
it'd be West Coast Avengers, the main villain in that one, and I know somebody voiced their what's that word? Their disapproval of my choice in villain, and it was going to be Speedy, not Speedy, but Speedball. Now Penance.
Mm. Well, huh? Wait, huh? He's in Speedball's a hero.
Yeah, he was a hero originally, though. That's where we get his backstory told by one of the West Coast Avengers. You know, when it, like, Squirrel Girl remembers her tenure with him, but an event from one of the Avengers movies caused him to get injured, and his powers caused him great pain whenever time he attempted to use them, even after he recovered. I don't think I ever went into full detail on how would have wrote Speedy. Sorry, Speedy. I keep saying Speedy.
Well, Speedball.
Speedball.
Speedball. Yeah, Speedball going to become Penance. Is let's just say he was in the New York attack with his
Mhm.
Chitari attack along with Squirrel Girl, because we can add a little world building there, right there, because we did see Vulture scrapping up Chitari metal and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So why not have superheroes also operating, just not well known as the Avengers at the time,
It
right?
makes sense with the Netflix, how Netflix shows work and stuff.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Netflix shows are non-canon to according to Kevin Feige.
Right.
Mhm.
But they still fit, even if you do watch them, you can see where they were trying to fit them in.
Mm.
But anyways, like I said, he gets injured during the attack. It affects his powers to a point where whenever time he attempted to use them, even after the as they like to call it, the incident,
Right.
he kept trying to use his powers, but they kept hurting him every single time he tried to use them. and that's where he started to lose his mind because he was one of those hopeful, wide-eyed superheroes, young superheroes that wanted to help so bad.
Right.
But let's just say the reason why his powers hurt him so much because he rushed himself out of recovery too early. He didn't give himself time to heal,
Interesting.
and that's what caused his power. That's what caused his powers to hurt him more than help him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what caught. And like the moment he kept using it, the more he started seeing. Oh, nice, Eloise. Sorry, she just threw a comment there. But the more he kept using it, the more he started looking more monstrous in front of people, or at least the way how he acted out, right? So he ends up doing the moniker penance, which is he over time he started learning that the pain is actually helping him in his twisted mind, and the more he started using it, the more he started getting used to it, getting used to the pain. So he's become a sort of edgelord, if you will. And so I don't know what his motivation would have been, but like that was the whole point. It's like the story was mostly about the West Coast Avengers finding their way as new recruits, led by Bucky Barnes, Captain America.
Mm.
And the only reason why excuse me, I'm stuttering. The only reason I'm using Bucky for this story because Bucky knows all too well pain, like perpetual pain due to his conditioning. So he'll be the one to talk some sense into penance at the end of the movie. That was my version. I forgot what Leia did. I think she did she probably did either the Fantastic Four or was it Schooner did this Fantastic Four. And I think Leia did something female related. As usual.
What if it was
she
Black
did.
Widow?
No, she did X-Men.
Okay. By the way, Wolfton, would you make a Beta Ray Bill movie, or would that be an option, or would be what should he be part of a Nova movie?
I would love to do a Phase 5 Fantasy Studio Office to possibly explore that because truth be told, I'm very unfamiliar with Bay Ray Bill. Other than he's an alien that's been made into Asgard. That's as far as I know of him. I also know that he's 10 times stronger than Thor himself.
I know he became Thor for a while, right?
He got the
Beta
powers
Ray
of
Bill?
Thor, but he didn't call himself Thor. Because Thor's a name.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew he was in Silver Surfer at one point.
Yeah, see,
The animated show.
Yeah, Beta Ray Bill's more of a space guy. But but Marvel should most definitely do a Nova movie. I think they got one planned for Phase 5, but I don't know why they're making it a Phase 5 movie. It used to be a Phase 4 movie, saying that Nova is a very integral part of Marvel comics. It used to be before they
Now,
made.
if we ever talked about Silver Surfer, for that matter, that would have to come with the crew itself. Whoever decided to want to do that. In fact, that's probably what I would like to plan to do for next Tuesday. No, that will have to be somewhere in October, because next Tuesday we'll be doing the manga study of Inuyashiki. Next Tuesday.
That's the one where you got. There's one got these two. There's two people get killed by aliens and rebuilt as robots, and then
that's the one.
Yeah, and then one's basically uses powers to become like almost like Jesus, and the other guy uses powers to become a serial killer. And
yeah. So I'll set up Fantasy Studio Office Phase 5 Marvel for the 5th. Because I was prepared to do another one. I just didn't know what we were gonna do for that one. One idea I was thinking about doing was the Dark Universe, aka the universe that we're going to use the Universal Monster movies for. But I was saving that for somewhere in October,
Hmm.
specifically in October. Because we don't really talk about the classes that much. And I really want to talk about what I would do, because I know Troy Pacelli was doing the fixing the Dark Universe, but no, we're actually doing what we would do if we were building the Dark Universe. Um,
Now, the Dark Universe, that's the like, classic movie monsters, right?
mhm. But yeah,
Yeah,
this would be us building it,
yeah.
constructing it.
Cause they really didn't care. What they did with the Mummy is the same mistake that Batman vs Superman make, and tried to have the whole second act of the movie be done more commercial for the sequels, and that's it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Only
much.
difference is they didn't do it on flash drive.
Yeah, and they didn't focus on their own plot. Like, what was the what was the point of this time movie?
Right.
Mhm.
Look, I was only there because Gazelle was in that movie.
Nah,
That's the only time.
I didn't go. I didn't go to show to see it.
I know. I was only there because I was hoping that it would be the better of it would be better than Dracula Untold.
Right.
But again, I was only there because Sophia Boutella was in there. Gazelle from Kingsman.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only reason why I went to see it.
Okay. Okay. One thing. Okay. One thing with me is I would really hope for a good but his thing the MCU they can't really because of Kevin Feige they can't really diverge from the formula. What because they
Mm,
all gotta have all superheroes fit the same formula even though it makes sense for that character.
He's
right.
basically
Because
retelling Iron Man all over again.
I know retelling Iron Man multiple times because they gotta do it have to turn all superheroes into Iron Man. That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Mm,
You
like
kind of noticed that too.
yeah, like and it can't have street level superhero movies like this is why they're making Moon Knight into a TV show instead of an actual movie like it should be. Because it's
Yeah.
by all logic, Moon Knight should be a movie.
It's like even Spider-Man can't be street level anymore.
I know.
Oh man, he's the epitome of they're trying to make everybody Iron Man.
Because he becomes Iron Man sidekick in MCU.
Yeah, I
Well,
hated that.
if you noticed in the No Way Home trailer, he still does the Iron Spider suit.
Mm,
After what happened in Far From Home, it's like he ditched the Iron Spider suit and created his own Spider suit, his brand new Spider suit, right?
Hmm.
And I'm like, why is he wearing? I looked at the trailer again. I was like, wait, why is he wearing the Iron Spider suit again? Look,
because mm,
I get the Iron Spider suit is very iconic, especially when they first introduced it into not Endgame, Infinity War. But it's like that should not be his default suit anymore.
No, it shouldn't.
His default suit should have been the one they used in Civil War at all times, which he did use in Far From Home, and he ended it on Far From Home.
Right.
And it's getting to a point where they're treating superheroes like action figures and dolls. You put you know interchangeable suits and everything, switching heads on the bodies and whatnot.
Switching accessories and whatnot.
you got they treat it. The Spider Man is nothing like the Spider Man MCU is nothing like Spider Man in the comics or any of the previous movie versions. I mean,
Nope.
like at all. Like,
I
that ain't
look at that and I say,
Spider-Man.
that's not Spidey.
That's that Spidey. I know.
He keeps talking about how people are treating him like a kid. I'm like, but the that's not the problem of the characters in universe. It's the problem of the writers. They're writing you like a kid. That's the problem.
Like when is he gonna get man up? Like he has no sense of responsibility. Like huh?
Yeah.
That's the basic plot of No Way Home. Can you use the magic to make everybody forget all this? No, motherfucker. You got exposed. You gotta live with you gotta fight through that consequence, and you gotta live with that.
Now why
I
did they
don't.
have him the only reason why they had him get exposed is again rehash Iron Man again.
Mm-hmm. That and they're cherry picking at this point from multiple comic books, especially what happens during Civil War in Peter's side story after he gets revealed. And it's not even the fact that like one thing that they didn't do is they didn't have him reveal his secret identity willingly. He didn't even sign the accords for one. I don't think there's ever a mention of him signing the
Yeah.
accords.
Instead, Mysterio just gave his identity away. And
Mhm.
now logically this should lead into Scorpion. Logically. That's what this with the whole J. John Jameson making Scorpion to kill Spider-Man. That's what logically should happen. But
Mhm.
Right.
no,
Yeah,
they
that's
can't
true.
do that. No, they can't do that because that gives Sony too much power according to Disney. Because
That
Yeah,
or
that's how it's been for the last few years when it comes to this project.
Mm.
With
that or
the
quote unquote
collaboration.
Spider-Man fans don't want to think they don't want to look to J. Jonah Jameson as a child killer.
Well, I mean, the thing
no,
was,
he
it's like
Well, that's like too
like with this.
fucking bad because J. Jonah Jameson doesn't even know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Or he
And
shouldn't have anyways.
Yeah, the
mm,
thing about this partnership is it was very apparent that it was always going to be one-sided and it was always going to tilt towards Disney. So,
mhm.
like,
What was
So
even the point?
I mean, I could see why Sony wanted to retain as much of the property as possible to try to at least keep some controlling stake in it. I mean, if they're going to go ahead and start, rewriting everything,
mm,
I at that point, it's like, okay, well, it's a whole different subset of characters, so you can kind of do something a little different with it. It's not
There was a
like true
reason
canon, if you will.
why Amazing Spider-Man didn't bring out J. Jonah at all within those movies. I'm
Yeah.
stuck on the J. Jonah aspect of these movies. It's like you had ample amount of time to bring up J. Jonah.
Well, I mean,
Ample
that's the
amount of time.
draw. Yeah, that's the draw. And now the leaks are like, oh yeah, it's confirming the
Mhm.
Sinister Six, and it's like, you think? I'm like, how many of these villains have we seen over the last 2-3 decades? I mean, come on, get real. So
exactly. We ain't seen a lot of them.
Took him long. Took
No.
him a long time to bring up the Sinister Six, and I'm mad at the fact that Goblin's going to be part of them because he was never part of them in
I
the
know,
first
I
place.
know, I
Nope.
know, I
Doc
know.
Ock led the
well,
original
the
Sinister
only
Six.
thing good about it is that it's Earth 1999-99. So that's the only thing good about it. So
Mhm.
like, and I hate to use that scapegoat, but that's really it. Is that it's like this takes place on 1999-99. It doesn't take place on 616.
I had to come off sound like Superboy Prime there.
Mm.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing to point out is they don't want to do Scorpion. Yeah, they don't want to do Scorpion storyline. Even though logically that's what logically happened at this point with the first two movies,
Yeah,
Hey,
the
yeah.
first
child.
two MCU Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
but put that
rumored
together.
to answer Child's question. They're rumored to come back. Obviously, they're probably going to use them anyways. But I'm a little hesitant to see that. I really am. I'm kind of hesitant. Now I know they can use makeup for them for
You know
both
what?
Garfield and Maguire.
Hopefully it's a little better now. Considering I mean, they were able to do, Samuel L. pretty well. I
Well,
mean,
I'm not talking about de aging. Like what I'm saying is when it comes to Maguire and Garfield, like they can use natural makeup to make them relative. Not, I don't want them to be super duper young. That's not what I'm asking them to do.
Why they what? No,
they
no.
they should they should just naturally look their age at this point.
I know,
I
I
mean, if
know.
if we were
Mhm.
yeah, like if we were to believe the Miles Morales animated storyline of Into the Spider Verse, then you already have different spiders of different ages at different points in the
Hmm.
timeline.
Exactly. I know. I agree.
Mhm.
I mean, why are we going? Why are we going back to when the original films had just what after the original movie happened? Why not just have a 20-year-old, 40-year-old, 40-year-old,
And
year old
that's
Yeah,
why
I
I'm
mean,
worried
Toby?
you
because
got Peter B. Parker,
I
mhm.
know.
with Miles, and
And
freaking
he's been Spider Man for 20 years. I would just do that. Like
yeah.
he's been Spider Man for 20 years. 20 years, and
Mhm.
exactly, exactly. And he's experienced, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just worried. I'm gonna look at a de-age Willem Dafoe.
that's
Well, I wouldn't
that's
worry too
That would
much
be a
about it.
scary thought.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it because either way, anything it's still gonna be anything
Well, technically,
better.
they did it in Aquaman. He
Well, it's
didn't
gonna
look
be
too
anything.
bad.
It's still gonna be better than what Marvel has put out. So,
Mm.
I hate to use that comparison. You know, it's still gonna be better than what Disney's checking out right now.
No,
So,
no, no. And another thing is, why they bring Green Goblin back? He was dead. He was stabbed by his glider. It don't make any sense.
I
Exactly.
don't know, man.
It don't make any
I
sense.
don't. At this point, I don't think they're gonna have him remove his helmet. They're probably gonna have him with the helmet constantly on.
Yeah, and same. I know. Same thing with what's his name? What's his name?
Electro.
Uh, no, not Electro. I mean, same thing with Harry. Harry's dead. Harry was dead in the original Spider-Man,
Hmm.
Spider-Man trilogy.
Assuming
Yeah.
that they're not gonna follow that continuity at all.
But then, how you not gonna follow the continuity? It's that universe, those actors.
I don't
Uh,
know, Fizz.
because
I
this
just
all
don't
takes
know,
place,
man.
quote
with
unquote, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though it's a Sony film.
look,
Right?
at least with a Doctor Octopus, he got an excuse. And then Spider-Man 3,
I,
they say they have rumor they might be still be not be dead.
I
But
mean,
even
that's
then,
gonna be the logic. I mean, if you stick with that logic, it doesn't make any sense, but it's the only thing that makes the most logical sense. So
but you should
if you stick it within the context of the MCU,
Mm,
these people are just going to ruin any canon they can get their hands on. But
exactly.
unfortunately, there's no control over that.
Mm,
Fortunately, however, it's still Sony writing the film, so there's still hope that it might be somewhat good in terms of what they put
mm,
out.
If
yeah,
not decent.
exactly. But one thing, but here's how I get this. Look, they should just brought. They trying to force the Sinister Six to happen fast as possible, rather
Oh
than
yeah,
develop their own cinematic universe.
oh yeah,
Because Sony cinematic universe could develop it naturally through films like Silver Sable.
yeah. Or
Hydro Man.
Venom,
They had a
because I
chance to
mean
do Hydro Man, but he's a
they're obviously
hologram.
going towards that with the Venom verse. So
Yeah, with Venomverse, they can't build up slowly like how they're supposed to, but then they're not gonna do that. Just let's just bring all these other villains from the other
At this
universes back
point,
into one universe.
me and the wife have already agreed to watch Venom Let There Be Carnage, and we
I
agreed to
will.
watch Doom. Even though I don't like the design of Carnage, I think it's a bit too bulky for my taste. Like I like Carnage lanky.
Mhm,
You know?
Yeah, makes more sense.
mhm.
I like Twizzler's Carnage. I don't like this beefy, roided up Carnage that they're pushing. It's like
You
no,
don't like filet mignon carnage.
I'm like, bro, the symbiotes. That's the beauty of the symbiotes. They don't always look the same. Yes, they're
Exactly.
built the same, but like body type. Now this is where I'm pushing body positivity here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like I like lanky dudes just the same way as built like the mountain dudes. It's like Carnage is basically the mountain. No, Venom is
Venom
is the mountain,
Mountain.
And carnage is the
and
lanky one.
well,
Yeah.
Carnage is supposed to be freaking Oberyn Martell. If I want to go with body type comparisons,
Right.
like you got the mountain, and then you got Carnage, who's essentially Oberyn. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that build. It's like you gotta differentiate, man. Like Riot in the last movie was taller than Venom. That's what differentiated him,
Right.
aside from color and power set wise. But you know, when you get to Carnage is basically just a red is he's essentially Red Riot, but like we know it's Carnage. We know it's clear as Cassidy.
Yeah.
Thankfully they gave him a better haircut this time.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm worried. That's what I'm worried about. I'm really more worried about Cletus Cassidy and how
Yeah.
they're gonna portray him in that movie, because it seems like they're trying to do a whole nother Heath Ledger Joker with him.
Yeah, I can't see like another Heath Ledger Joker as like Cletus Cassidy because Cassidy is just much more manic.
Hmm.
Mm.
I don't think they're gonna go. You know, they're not gonna go that far with him.
I
Right.
hope, yeah,
He's
I
gonna be
hope,
more subdued.
I hope Carnage survive because I hope Carnage survive because it still got becomes a major villain for
Hmm.
Sony's Marvel universe because
well,
you still
Sony and
have
Marvel
things
right
like
now has a shot.
yeah, because
I
still
mean,
got
if they
things
play
like
their cards right, they got 10 years coming if they play their cards right.
they still got things like Maximum Carnage dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Dun, 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 dun,
Like, there's
dun,
still
dun,
so
dun.
much there in the Venomverse, and there's still
Mhm.
so much with Carnage as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up picking up
Like I
the
said, if I was him and
20
Venom, it would have been a Jekyll and Hyde situation.
And my kid, I got, and also, and
release
Hang on, he's
of
cutting out.
Carnage
He's roboting a
uh,
bit.
mhm.
during the Secret War.
Yep, I got that. I got that part. He's talking about Secret War, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's still thin enough. They just know it sells. So I mean,
You know something?
again, it's become one of these. It's become one of these things where they know where the grift is. They just don't have to give you the whole grift. So
Now that you bring up Secret War, that should have been the gateway to the Beyonder.
it should
Now
have.
they're trying to push the whole Cosmic Marvel story, right? Why couldn't No Way Home
Yeah.
start the Beyonder? Why did we have to get Doctor Strange?
Naturally, that's where it's supposed
Like,
to
we
go.
sh-
That's where
it's
it's
like
supposed to go.
like that should have
Right.
been a good opportunity to introduce the Beyonder.
Okay.
Peter should have went to the Beyonder for this one, and Madam Web.
Yeah,
Madam Web
yeah.
should have popped in. That's the problem. It's like they're not allowing Spider-Man to
Well, at
do
one point they were
Spider-Man
tossing
thing.
around the idea of a Madam Web film, but I'm like, as a
Why you
standalone,
need one? Why
how
can't
are
you
you
just
going to
put
do
her in
that?
a Spider-Man story? Why do
Like,
we need them to
you
have
know,
their own movies?
Mhm.
It's like you
Another,
were asking me, why does everything have to be a
like
stream,
we
right?
don't need a multiverse crew.
No, we
I
don't.
don't know, man. It's these
another
people.
thing
You
is,
know,
another
you
thing
give them
is,
money and then they do what they want.
another thing is, why they bring in Jamie Foxx Electro back when we could already they bring a lizard back.
Uh,
No, why couldn't he be the
the
Beyonder?
well,
Why couldn't he be the Beyonder?
you mean Katie Holmes' wife? So
Yeah.
Look, man, why couldn't he be the Beyonder? Why did he need to be Electro again? Why could he not be the Beyonder? And
I cannot tell you.
why couldn't we have at least somebody like I don't know. Let's go with Jennifer Love Hewitt as
Oh, how dare
Madam
you.
Web or some shit like that.
Okay,
Mhm.
That's for lack of
yeah.
better casting, man.
How
Yeah,
dare you?
hang on,
How
let me-
dare you? How dare you bring that freaking thing back?
but
Right.
like I said, I'm afraid they
Yeah.
bring the lizard. You know, remember Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I remember
there
him.
you Sally
Lizard was
Field. Why
awesome.
not Sally Field as Madam Web? Actually, Sally Field as Madam Web.
There's so many ways it could go with it, and that just tells you that there's so many ways that they're not going to go with it. Like I get you. Like I even said there was different ways of doing it, even with the established characters in Marvel, if that's all you could work with. So
Mhm.
you know, it's like I even went as far as saying, okay, I mean, if you really want to that bad, I mean, you could technically use, you know, Black Widow as a
Hey,
Madam
Neil.
Web,
Hey,
not
child.
the Madam Web, but as a Madam Web, because I mean, the moment she escapes the stone, there you go. So,
Yep.
but even then, I mean, there's other characters out there that have been established that you can
Yeah,
use.
that
for that
bitch is
for
still
just-
alive.
Yeah, Sally Fields
Yep.
isn't dead. How dare you?
She's the flying nun. She ain't gonna die anytime soon, man.
She's
She
not
a
gonna die
nun.
anytime
You know,
Nope.
you know nuns. You know priests die
You're hilarious.
way faster than nuns, man.
Freaking flying nun. Oh my god. That was way before any of our time. So
Right?
Y'all already doing one
Hell
more day.
to the
One way.
no.
Y'all already doing one more day,
Hell
kind
to
of.
the no. They ain't doing
No.
no damn one more day.
Hail to the
May
no.
May ain't shot. That's the thing. May ain't shot. What makes you think they're gonna do one more day? I'd like to see them try to do a better story one more day, like they did a better story for Civil War.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Y'all already got me started. I'm about to throw in two rants to this damn stream. I'm gonna keep myself subdued though.
Hmm.
Do you guys think they'll do one more day stream? I have not heard good things about the One More Day comic, so I would hope they don't do it.
Like I said, I hope they'll take a page from Civil War and do a better movie than a comic.
Hmm.
The fuck you
Okay.
sent me?
Okay.
Oh,
And by the way,
you had to link the damn Flying Nun, you asshole.
okay,
Not talking to you,
and
Fizz. He know who he is. Continue, Fizz. Continue.
okay, and I'll now we'll probably have you use I'll probably use a spot some way in MCU because how the multiverse thing going. This thing is
Hmm.
going.
Hmm.
But I mean, what is Sony planning to do with Morbius as it goes on?
Right.
Then nobody I heard nobody no nobody's talking about Morbius. What
Yeah. Like all that
Is
buzz
that
wore off real
still
quick.
in production?
no, they finished making the movie. They've been done. They start filming after Venom succeeded at
I know,
box
but I'm
office.
saying like, is this like, are they done? Or are they
They
still?
done. They've been done. They've been done. They just didn't release it.
Oh, they're waiting. Okay, they're pending.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. They reschedule everything because the coof.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's gonna be like that
That's a
for
typical story.
in perpetuity at this point. Oh, goof this, goof that. It's like, sorry, we can't release
Well,
this because goof.
I'm a little hesitant to watch Morbius because that's their idea of turning villains into anti-heroes now.
He's already anti-hero in the comics.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying is that if he's going to be successful, then they're going to just be picking random super villains and turn them into anti-heroes,
Yeah.
like
Marvel's
Doc
always
Ock,
Which is a
that's a
stupid
bad
idea
idea.
if there ever was one.
That's that Doctor Octopus is a good guy. That's a bad idea.
the
Same thing
Lizard.
with
I'm
that's a
just
bad idea too.
exactly. Well, I'm saying like as soon as they see that as a success, they're going to keep. It's like these idiots don't read comics. They're going to be picking villains at random and start turning them into anti-heroes.
Mhm.
Like what they bring back the Vulture now suddenly he's going to be a anti-hero now.
I hope he's a villain, Morbius. I hope he's a villain. It's still a villain,
Well,
a bad guy.
I'm hoping they're going to do the whole Jekyll and Hyde situation where he succumbs to his hunger, like make it a tragic story.
What's Morbius in the comics is pretty much stayed a good guy for the most part. I mean,
Yeah,
he only kills bad guys. He's a vampire and he drains feet on them. So it's basically like he's almost like Blade, but almost like Blade, but he does still hunting vampires.
just to make a clarification for anybody, for the people in the back, it's not that I'm opposed to these type of movies. My problem is the audience reactions afterwards.
Mhm.
It's like what I said about Black Panther, and the same thing what I said about Invincible. It's like my only issue is the people that watch this, and then Sunday they started saying, "Oh, this would be a good idea for a Lizard movie." I'm like, no,
What? Why
Lizard's
would you make? Lizard's supposed to be a bad guy. It's as
exactly
simple as that.
like
It wants.
if even if you do make that story, make sure it ends with him being a villain.
Mm.
That's the problem I have. It's like they don't want to end it on him being a villain. They want to make him a hero at the last minute.
But Morbius already was a hero in the comics for a long time.
Yeah.
It has been like that for a long time. So that I'm not complaining about that.
That's why I'm a little hesitant, but I might check it out. That's why I'm saying I
Mhm.
might check out Morbius, for that matter.
Okay,
But but if they talking about, oh, we're gonna make the Scorpion an anti-hero, no,
what?
No.
He's a
I don't
hitman.
know if you could
That's-
remake any of those villains
Yeah, you
into
can't really.
anti-heroes.
I mean,
I
you could
know.
turn it
or the
into like a
Chameleon.
you could turn it
Oh,
into
he's not a good guy. Did
he's
he
not a
try to
guy
rape
at
Mary Jane
all.
at one point?
Like, I mean, you're looking at freaking
Say that ain't
Riddick.
so,
What you're looking
because
at that point.
I'm just saying, say that ain't so. If he did try to attempt to rape Mary Jane,
Oh, jeez.
Oh, good lord.
Chameleon. Talking about
We're gonna go
Chameleon.
down that road again.
yeah, I know. Like now I'm envisioning what what you're saying about him. Like he came to her as Peter Parker, and they had sex, and
No.
he,
He didn't come to her as Peter. He came to her as the chameleon.
okay. Even that's I'm not saying that I'm okay with that. I'm saying okay, that's a good clarification, but it still don't make it right. It's like, why do we need him to be a rapist all of a sudden?
I don't know. I don't know, but then again, Chameleon can do a lot. He can pretty much do anything he wants. He can turn into anybody. So what the
It's Doctor Light all over again. Is what I'm saying.
hell?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
In
not the
Identity
guys who made
Crisis.
Mega Man either.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
in
the chameleon,
Identity Crisis.
did
Everybody remember that?
he didn't succeed though. He didn't succeed though, so nobody remembers it.
It's like again. It's like I know. I said this a few times. Only one time in one of my streams. I can't remember which one. It's like if you're gonna go with a sexual predator, make sure you take the responsibility of doing that.
Mhm.
That type of storytelling tends to be very fickle with a lot of viewers. A lot of people don't like to see rape situations in stories at all. But if you're gonna go there, go with the responsibility of knowing that this is what you intend to do. Especially if you want to establish a character as a rapist. Don't just establish a character's motives as being a thief, a murderer, and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you want to add rape to the mix. No, you establish them as a sexual predator first and
Mhm.
Well,
foremost.
in 2021, it's definitely not one of those things that would happen. I hate to say it. I
Mhm.
mean, you could
True,
probably have gotten away with it in the 80s, maybe early 90s.
true.
If we look at those films and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But like now, it's like the moment you talk about anything having to relate to females, you wake up the pink hairs, and then they're all about
Mhm.
canceling this and canceling that, and blah blah
Because
By the
they have
blah.
by,
no new ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the brilliant star that shines through the night, the golden eagle that preys on evil. Rise, a man stands before you. Rize, man power. Rize, man power. Rize, rise, a man stands before you. Go
Right,
ahead,
man.
Brian. I know you want. I know you want to do that. I know you want to do the Titantron.
I got one more. Rise, or man, like Storm
We're good.
Eagle's thing,
Mhm.
because he said eagle. Because he said eagle.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to keep
Mhm.
it fresh every time, you know.
Okay. 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 Like most these villains can only be used as villains and not as heroes. Like for example, for example, I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem with Like I have a problem more because he's anti-hero even in the comics. But
Mm-hmm.
Scorpion, no. Scorpion's a bad guy. Like he's a
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
hitman who goes around with the cybernetic tail and stabs people as Scorpion powers. He's created by J. Jonah Jameson. It's part of funding. He funded the project to create him to kill Spider-Man. It's like no. The Scorpion is a psychopath. Uh, uh
Okay. How they would do that, child? They remove the backstory. That's it. That's what they do with most of these villains now. They remove the backstory and the continuity so that they can do whatever they want. That's what they're
mm,
doing with the
Yeah.
with their diverse their tokenized heroes now. They
mhm,
remove some of their they try to remove the characters from the backstory and go with the all new, all different style of writing, which is they're already amazing. They don't need to work for their fill,
mhm.
or they take established diversity characters and they try to make them these also true blue characters, right? I forgot where I was
Exactly.
going with this, but I'm trying, guys, I'm trying.
You, Melissa's right,
Or
by the way. Melissa's right.
yeah,
Chameleon and Craven are all brothers in the comics.
but yeah, what I was saying is you got characters like Luke Cage and they pussify them
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
Blade.
mean, there's no way around
They
that.
even
I
they
mean,
even did that with Blade. I don't know, Eloise. You disappeared for a while. Now you're back. Thanks for
Mhm.
thanks for finding your way back though. But yeah, they pussify the masculine minority characters too. And, they even did that. They even did that to Miles Morales. I hear.
well,
And he's sipping for some woman
what? What?
in
Gwen
his own fucking
Stacy?
story.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
sipping for
he nah
Gwen.
he nah he cool in the Inner Spider Verse movie, but like anywhere else, is he sipping for a woman in his own fucking story?
It's
By
a
the way,
weird thing.
this may be a controversial opinion, but I was bored out of my mind when I watched Into the Spider Verse.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
no shade thrown here.
here's the thing. It's
No
like the
shame in
comic.
that.
The comic itself was not that great. The film was better, but only because they took a lot of those elements from Miles Morales and literally kind of spliced them into MCU Peter Parker. So they had to come up with a better storyline, and that's where you got their new version of Prowler, which I actually liked. So
Mm.
because I mean,
I
in the
would
comic, his
say I was
uncle is
kind
like
of
a
bored
freaking
with.
deadbeat. His
I was kind
uncle's
of
a
bored.
deadbeat, tries to get them to do stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like this in this particular version of Prowler was actually pretty cool because it was more of a family dynamic. So it's like you've got Mal's father who's in law enforcement, which that's still that's still there, and then now instead of his uncle just being this street deadbeat, he's now the Prowler, which kind of makes more sense now. So a lot of that stuff literally got kind of shore up a little bit. I mean, obviously they tossed in Peter B. Parker and they tossed in Gwen Stacy and Spider Ham and all them, but I mean, other than that, like the comic itself is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But by the way, I want. By the way, I want this to point this out. But Miles Morales is just too similar to Peter Parker.
It is. It is. Like,
He
I
is.
mean, he was created to be
Okay.
Black Peter Parker. I mean,
Peter Parker.
yeah,
I
you
know.
know,
was
and
the
that
original
was
intent.
when all this stuff was starting to kick off because they didn't go full on black. They went mixed race, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like,
But
yeah,
yeah. See, here's his thing. With Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, he's nothing like Peter Parker at all, except he got the same
yeah,
powers.
oh yeah. No, there's a big difference.
Yeah, but Miles Morales, what is there to Miles that separates him from Peter?
He wasn't in Inner Spider-Verse, was he, Miguel?
No, he was at the very end, the post
No,
credit scene.
Right.
he was an end
Yeah.
teaser.
Here's the thing. Miles Morales is just too similar to Peter Parker, so you have to do a whole lot of work and actually in order to actually create things for Miles to all to do.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like when they start creating all these characters to kind of peg in a certain demographic. It's like you start getting more of the same thing. It's like, okay, well, it makes this character different from any other character, and that's what they've been doing. Kind of like on the back burner. I mean, they've done it more. Honestly, they've been more in the open with it with Captain America than any other character that I know of. With
I'm
Phil
just glad
Ambrell
that
and freaking
when they did bring him in,
A Cap and then BIPOC Cap and like every other version of freaking Captain America except Steve Rogers. So
I'm just glad when they brought Miguel in, they brought in the classic suit and not that new suit that they have him in the comics.
His white suit. I
2099.
kind of like it.
Exactly. I agree. I agree with New Star Production right there.
slick.
Miles Morales is just a derivative
I
of
like
Spider-Man.
it too, but I'm glad they went with the classic one. It's like don't
Not
lead off.
like
yeah,
Ben
but I
Reilly,
mean,
but Ben at least has the excuse of being a clone of Peter. But then here's the thing with Miles Morales. Another thing with Miles Morales. They didn't actually bother to give him anything to separate him from Peter at all. Like,
Nope. They just recolored his costume and that was it.
the skin color.
No, he's the diversity character that quote unquote people can relate to. I mean, that's the only real difference. I mean, let's call it out for what it is. I mean, again, this was very early on. You weren't getting a lot of these diversity characters. I mean,
at that time, so people just
that
accepted
time.
it.
Yeah, so
I'll be right back.
because he's different, and of course you had little kids who were like, "Oh, he's like me." It's like, well, yeah, so it's Peter Parker, but it doesn't matter at that point because I mean they're kids; they don't know the difference. It's these people that start now injecting, all this diversity stuff.
And then Kamala Khan happened.
Yeah. So yeah, because in 2015, and we've talked about this, and you probably saw it even happen in your comic book store. Marvel just exploded with all this freaking diversity crap. You had the She-Thor, and then you had freaking A-Force. You had, Sam Wilson came out of that whole thing too. So
you had Red Skull talking like Donald Trump.
Where they pretty much just handed off the shield over to Sam Wilson. I'm like, I guess, man. I'm like, where's Bucky and all this? Oh, well,
not to mention, why didn't you just make a Falcon comic book series? That one made more sense. I mean, it's not like in Captain America's case. It's not like it is with Robin. Captain America doesn't own any of his psychic code names.
Well, and here's the thing. It's like, okay, well, what makes freaking Falcon different from Luke Cage? It's like
No, the Falcon can fly, and seriously now, what?
yeah, but I mean, as a character, what makes him different from Luke Cage? It's like
Because
they
Falcon
can't tell
spent
you
years,
because they don't know. It's like
because Falcon spent years being a sidekick to Captain America, so he actually has military experience and stuff.
yeah, and
And because
they,
Luke Cage is a
therein
street
lies the
level
thing. It's like
character.
if you know this stuff, if you know the comic books and stuff, then you know this. But like, I mean, if you're coming at it from, oh, okay, this is what I saw on TV, what literally makes Sam Wilson stand apart from again Luke Cage. So
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and
they don't know because they don't read any of this stuff.
well, they don't. Yeah, they don't. It's this again. It's the casual viewing audience that they're aiming for. That's why they can get away with a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that go in one and done. I mean, they might see it a second or a third time, but that's it. I mean, it's not like they're going to go and watch the film like 5, 6, 8 times. In Real D, and then in IMAX, and then in find the drive-through version of it. All that stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you put them side by side, what makes them what makes them different? And it's like, oh well, you got Anthony Mackie. I'm like, I'm like, that's an actor. It's what makes Sam Wilson stand apart that he should be the next Captain America? Do we know? Like, other than what we've seen in the films, it's like I do because I mean I've read the comics, but again, everyone is just being hit with all this stuff that was going on in 2015. So it's like it's honestly it's whiplash. It's whiplash because we already saw it happen, and now it's just kind of happening all over again. So it's like it's like, okay, so who else are we getting? We're getting Riri now. We're getting Riri Williams, like which you already have Misty Knight. So why do you need Riri Williams? Like,
because you need a
why
black
are
girl to
we?
be Iron Man specifically.
Yeah, that would have been the natural progression if you're going to do something with it. I mean, if you follow the Netflix series, that would be kind of a nice tie-in for quote the next Iron Man. If you have to go down that road, if the executives say this is what I want a black woman in that suit, it's like, okay, well, I mean,
why do you need a black woman in that suit? Why not? Why can't you just have a black woman with her own power set?
Again,
Why just have the most talented woman?
You have to ask these liberal female executives because they're the ones making all these shots. So, I don't see any dudes standing up to these freaking females telling them, no, that's not how it goes. But yeah. So I mean,
Well,
we're
she is
getting
a man's greatest weakness.
I mean, we're getting Kate Bishop. I mean, and as far as I know, anything she's been in has not been that successful. But then again, I don't keep up with Kate Bishop, so I don't care. So there's that.
Bishop.
I mean, the Hawkeye series. Yeah, the Hawkeye series is right on the corner, and it's like, is anyone really excited for it?
I'm not
I
watching.
don't think so,
I'm not watching their version of Kate Bishop. I want Young Avengers Kate Bishop.
I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that.
Yeah,
And even then, they ruined the Young Avengers over time too.
Yeah, there's no buzz.
Now's
There's no buzz for any of these things.
Now's the gay Avengers. That's the young Avengers. They're all gay superhero team.
I thought that was the New Warriors. To be honest.
Well,
Let's Runaways too.
Well, they've
Runaways,
already more. I mean, they're already starting to establish Wiccan. We haven't even seen Hulkling yet. Hopefully, we'll never see Hulkling. But because
How the
to
hell
me,
he
as
became
a superhero,
bro with his
Hulkling
son?
doesn't make sense. That's just Hulkling is more or less.
Last time I checked, the bitch was sterile.
Like freaking, he's more or less what Beast Boy, if you will. Like except he's
Yeah,
like half
pretty much.
Skrull. I'm like, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like the original. I don't like the imitation. So I mean, for me, Hulkling was not anything special. So now you got to pair him up with Wiccan. It's like, okay, that still doesn't make him special. It's like, yeah, cool, whatever. They can do whatever it is they're gonna do.
He's not as strong as the Hulk, even as a Skrull. Like
Yeah,
Skrulls are supposed to be powerful.
Skrulls aren't really supposed to be strong. They're supposed to be shapeshifters.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, again, like I said, like even if they were shapeshifters, they're still powerful, like in strength. Not as powerful as the Hulk per se, but they're more than a threat because of their physiology. That's what made them so dangerous. Aside from their ability to transform, because they always put themselves at the pinnacle of genetic perfection, as opposed to the Kree. That if anything, the Kree. Last time I checked, the Kree and the Skrull War happened because of gene superiority. You know, like he whose race is the epitome of the super race. That was them
Well,
to prove who was the Ubermensch tribe. You know,
yeah, and that's a storyline that we're not going to visit in 2021 because these
Mm-mm.
people.
because now they're an allegory for immigrants.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it's retarded.
everything is also supremacy now. So it's like when we talk about
Yep.
gene superiority. Oh, we can't have that. It's like so. I mean,
Yeah, you can talk about it. The villains' beliefs messed up things.
yeah, they do.
Exactly.
All
They
be
do.
all be
They do.
evil.
They do. But these Karens with the money that fund all these projects, Sherry
They
Redstone.
ain't even they
You
ain't,
know,
Those Karens are so fucking brain dead.
they ain't even make the they ain't afraid.
it's like the most famous
They have
I
Karen
no
can't
clue how
still is
talk.
what's her
superhero
face
stories
from
work
Lucas
at
Film.
all.
I can't talk right now. What I was trying to say is they're afraid to make the Kree Skrull War gray because the Kree are not innocent either. They're
The
terrible
Kree
Yeah,
themselves.
are the Kree are horrible.
yeah.
Isn't it? Ain't the
Even
comic
to
Mr.
their
Kree?
themselves.
I mean, ain't the comic Mr. Kree Supreme Intelligence supposed to be a giant brain in a jar with a face?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But in the movie, they
That's
changed it to some lady.
well
Yeah, yeah.
the
Because
well yeah.
even Thanos and the Snap was very toned down. It's like there's a lot of there's reasons behind him wanting to wipe out like
Uh,
half of the known universe.
He's in a sexual relationship with the female Grim Reaper in Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Lady Death.
Lady Death,
Yeah, with Lady
Not
Death.
not
So
Lady
it's like,
Death. The embodiment
not
of
Death.
death.
oh well, the
Death.
embodiment of death. Yeah.
Lady Death is a superhero. Remember that. Or technically,
Oh, I keep getting
she's
those
based.
mixed up.
Lady
She
Death. Lady
fights.
Death. Lady Death's from Evil Ernie.
Yeah.
No, even then, she was originally hero. She's really just a villain. Same thing
That's
as Evil
I'm
Ernie. Though they made her a hero because of boobs.
Yeah.
Right.
that's kind of what we have going on. Well, and then the other thing is, it's like these films have to be quote unquote kid friendly because I mean that's
Mm.
who they're trying to appeal to as well. So I mean you can't really get any of these adult storylines for the adult comic readers because we don't want to offend anyone and there might be kids watching. Well, you know what, you're gonna have to change that rating to an R, and guess what, those parents are still gonna bring their kids to it. So
Yeah. No, they're not even making it for kids. They're just making it for stupid adults.
well, that's what I'm getting at. It's like that's what they did with Doctor Strange. Like
No, I'll tell you what they're
that's
making.
why they
They're
lost that's why they lost that director because the
Brian.
director had a different
Yeah.
vision for it.
Let's call it for what it is. They're making it for adults that think, or well, they're making it for children that think they're adults. And I'm
Oh,
doing
yeah.
They're making it for infantilized adults.
There you go.
Yeah,
That right
call
there.
it what it is. They're infantilized adults. We've all dealt with them. I've dealt with them. It's like it's
Yeah.
like you can't get them to do anything other than what they're going to do, and unfortunately, it's kind of why things are the way they are in the state of the comic book industry because you're hiring these people for cheap, only paying them X amount, per page, so they're giving you like terrible stories, and somehow you tend to think this is going to be relevant to the current pop culture. It's not. It's only relevant to that group. So it's like
Yeah.
the
Mm.
best example that they have out there right now is I'm Not Starfire because it literally tells you
That
in the
movie.
freaking title. It tells you in the title, I'm not you. Because
That well.
when you read these comic books, you insert yourself into the eyes of the superhero. That's how you
He's not like the others.
read these comic books.
He's so
I mean,
strong
They're meant to
and muscly.
entertain.
And hot.
Right?
hmm
But yeah, so I mean, they're telling you in the title, this is not for you. This is for me. And well, it's like no one wants to read that shit. But again,
When you make it only for you, you're
You
the
know,
only
this-
person that will read it.
I mean, this is all
The
this is all
truth
ground we've
is,
tread before.
I'm not your mama. You wrote that for your mama, but I'm not your
No,
mama.
it's like government is your mama. I mean, it's very, very apparent.
You
now.
wrote that for your mom. You said your mama would like it. The truth of the matter is, this whole leaderboard that you appealing to ain't your mama.
Yeah. So
All right?
I mean,
That's
DC is going to be in
that's an inside
shambles.
joke,
That's
Fizz.
going to be like that for a while. CBS Viacom, now that they're one entity again, Star Trek is going to be in shambles. There's nothing that can be done about that. There is not one IP at this point that you can not fix without using some form of time travel or basically coming out and saying everything that we did, even STD, ignore all that. It's like what
Right.
unless you come out publicly and
Yep.
say we screwed up, ignore all that. You're not going to get any. You're not going to get any of the actual following that you had previously. You're going to get just the
That's
casual
why.
consumer.
I
That's why
You
agree.
I'm.
know,
That's why
and
I'm
I've said it
in
before.
favor of
It's the
pushing
people
people
that
to
like
create
to
stuff.
yeah,
Mm.
it's the people that like to participate within it, but don't know enough about it to actually know that what they're getting is a watered down version of the real thing.
Mm.
And when you
Uh,
educate them on it, oh, I should be reading this instead.
Oh,
mm,
that's if you can get them to actually do that. Like,
mm.
Right? Ain't that a
Uh,
little bit too old?
go ahead, Fizz. I know you got
Go ahead,
something.
Fizz.
okay.
I hate
I'm.
when they use that
You,
argument
you,
too.
you, everybody here pretty much knows I'm working on my own comic series called Goofernoid. If I get the first one funded, which is probably be hard, but what? Okay. Um.
I was opening that door for that segue, by the way.
Yeah, your clown, your superhero clown.
Story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Each is his own kind of self-contained plot, but does connect to the larger story. The first issue is an origin story about this Hernando Main, this Hispanic teenager who has mental issues
Hmm.
and basically there's mysterious cult looming around the city of Orlando. And at the end of the book, he becomes Goofanoid. But issue 2 was about these terrorists attack Islam jihadists attack, and he fights jihadists. Then
Hmm.
then this ninja comes in and kills the terrorists,
Right.
and now Goofanoid has to fight this ninja. And I'm trying to set up a mystery.
Yeah.
Uh, set up mysteries, multiple mysteries here. Issue 3 of Goofanoid is goes full in all in with the comedy, and he fights uh fights this guy called Carbuncle, who's a carjacker who
Right.
Oh, okay.
takes car parts and makes new types of weaponized cars out of car parts.
That's
Oh,
cool.
and yeah.
Oh my god, Aaron, you're so fucking cool. Holy shit.
That's all I gotta say for that one.
Mm.
I really hope that if we can share this enough, we can get people to fund it.
The artwork in the first issue is not gonna be that good because I'm on a budget. Very very
We're gonna have Final Fantasy join us in a sec.
okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Well,
very.
uh,
I'm on very tight budget here.
I know I was looking at the link. I don't have it up on any of my tabs. You got the link for that, Fizz, on your book?
Yeah.
So I can share it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just
I'm
looking at this meme from Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's just funny. I'll have to post it on MeWe.
What's up, Fantasy?
Hey there.
Hey, buddy, good to see you.
Hey there. I decided to join him because why not?
It's a chill stream, so yeah.
Alright. Anyway. So, what do we got?
Yeah, Cliff Notes. We talked about Spider-Man. We talked about the politics and the borders and the Haitians and Predator and
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
All
and
that
then
stuff.
now we're talking about Fizz's book again. His comic book that
And I
he's created.
forgot to mention. Yeah, no. When we were talking about that, I forgot to mention MS-13. That's another thing that's going to be happening too.
MS-13.
Well, I remember that group. Those guys are some bad dudes.
Yeah. Because I was talking to my brother about this yesterday. I don't know how we got on this big border talk, but I told him, I'm like, look, they're bringing
You
in
won't talk about it.
specific weaponized groups. Like no, no. I like as far as like my brother last night, and that was the one thing I had forgotten to mention to you guys. I mentioned that specifically. I'm like, you're also bringing in MS-13. They don't like anybody, period. So it's gonna get real. So
It's gonna get ugly.
Now would be a good time
yeah,
to start
dude.
getting your gun license.
All right.
Mm.
So yeah,
Like get your gun.
Predator 2 because my brother was like, oh, so like Predator 2, and I should have gone with that. Like people, that's what and that's really what my point is. People understand pop culture because that's really what they like immerse themselves in. So if you relate to things in terms of like pop culture, most people will get that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Talk about Predator movies.
Yeah, Predator 2
Uh,
specific. It's basically
uh,
like with the situation with the Haitians underneath that bridge. It's gonna be like that in Predator 2. Only different.
yeah,
Only this time, freaking Danny Glover's really too old for this shit.
really too old to be going
yeah.
out. It's like forget we're not even gonna have Maria Conchita Alonso for this one. So
Mm.
Oh
she,
yeah,
she ain't gonna be
yeah.
grabbing anybody's junk anytime soon. So
And Vasquez is too old too. You know, I would love to. I would love for them to try to even
Vasquez.
attempt on her store,
Oh
her little
man.
bra store. That bitch would be like,
Let's rock!
and one time,
Yeah.
I'm hoping she would do
That's a
that.
good clip. That's a good.
That is a good clip.
I seen that.
Just
I
because
seen
it
that
has
bad bitch. I'm like, yeah, she like the type of
it has
person
the
that can still
tag on
throw
the
down.
corner on the bottom.
And that white streak on her hair, she should have been
Right.
rogue.
Yep.
I don't
Right.
know how she pulled that shit off. She got that one white streak on her hair. I'm like, you the original rogue, and nobody casted you. That sucks.
Yep.
Oh well, bears can't be choosers.
I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. Yep.
She was in
So yeah,
two
we were talking
of
about
the
that Final
franchises.
Fantasy.
She was in Alien, and she was in Terminator. Yeah, you got Vasquez in two of those iconic movies.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised she wasn't in RoboCop. Well, then good to see her in RoboCop, but oh well. Oh, y'all don't remember her in Terminator 2?
Mm.
You don't?
Yeah, you know what? Before my internet got all weird, the other day, I meant to bring this up. Is like I really like this artwork. It's like very punk. Like it's
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
like it's
the
very what is
cover.
it?
That's not what the interior of the books is like. That's one of the very covers.
Yeah. But even the cover itself, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Batman Beyond. Is what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah,
that Goof
you gotta
cover with
wait.
the green background. Yeah.
You got look at the actual campaign to know what the actual artwork in the actual book looks like.
Yeah, let me get in there real quick. Let's see if I can,
I'm looking at the trailer real quick.
because it brought me to the sign up page. I'm like,
No. When it launches, when the actual campaign pops up,
okay,
there's a
let's see.
page.
Goofing, no.
Not in the trailer.
Right.
Man, if I was rich, man, I'd throw money at this shit. Big time. Big money.
You don't gotta be rich. You just gotta know people.
I know. True.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, it's like, I want to be a tycoon. I need to work hard to be a tycoon. Be a Bruce Wayne, just this crowdfund any any comic idea that sounds feasible to get a return investment, at least.
Well, just
Goof-
keep doing YouTube
Goofinoi looks like
for
one of
years
those.
till you gain a following, and then
Right.
go from there.
Speaking of
I mean,
Fizz, what
Mm.
I don't think I asked you this yesterday. How'd you come up with Goofanoid? The name itself.
Basically, I took, I was trying, I was inspired by the Domino's Pizza Noid.
oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually gonna look more like the Noid as it goes on. I think the second issue gonna get custom redesign,
Excuse me.
so it's gonna have an actual G on chest like a Noid.
hmm
Yeah, that's actually how I come with the name.
Oh, that guy. That
Mm.
mascot. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, and that's more of what we need of like in terms of getting away. Again, it's about getting off this Marvel DC plantation. It's like
Mm.
they have all the money in
Yep.
the world. Let them do
I
what they're gonna
finally,
do to
I,
their
I'm fully
IPs.
removed from that shit.
Like, it's
Yeah, I do read other. Most part I do read other comics. Like actually, I online because I don't have. I'm not near a comic book store. I don't live near one, so I gotta
I
take
live
a.
near one. I don't know if it's still open though.
I would have to take a train like
well,
literally go there. So I'm not. I ain't got no time for that. So I usually just pirate comics off the internet. Just
well,
that's the only way.
I still have to explore the links that Dominic Powell gave me in terms of
Mm.
manga.
Mhm.
Because I
Mm.
mean, I hate to say it, that's all there's left. So I mean, if you want
Mm.
story, it's going to be coming from manga. It's not going to be coming from the West. So
Nope.
No,
Yeah,
no,
because
no.
indie
You gotta.
comics and manga are the ones that are popular right now, more so than comics.
Mm, because
yep,
cause I'm going because
Mm.
cause I'm gonna probably uh uh I'm gonna try 10 years to just get the one issue of one Gryffindor funded since apparently nobody wants to back it, but well, nobody wants to back the first time I launched it, so we're gonna launch it again to Friday.
hmm
Just go in with the mindset that you still want to get this project done, and make sure you have a second project as a backup.
No, I spent all
Mhm.
my money, this is if this doesn't go do well, I'm gonna have to probably wait 5 years and launch another campaign.
Okay.
So
yeah, that or the other way to do it is meeting people that are in similar situations, and basically what you do is you trade off funding each
what's
other's projects. I mean,
wait what
that's
Repeat that,
where
Trooper. You roboted.
you meet a people. Yeah, I'm sorry, like my internet's being weird. The other model that I know is you have a whole bunch of creators, okay, and everyone in the presupposition is that everyone is still somewhat well off. Uh, maybe there's maybe one person that's like maybe
He's still roboting.
3
He's still
issues
roboting.
into their own fun. I'll put it in chat.
Hang on. Is everybody hearing him clearly on their end?
He's kind of roboting in and out.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just only me that he's roboting on.
How about now?
Clear.
That was good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I had something else running in the background. All right. So the
That'll
other
do it.
model that I know of is you basically it's I hate to call it a commonwealth or communism, but basically all you're doing is uh trying to form a group of creators that are looking to fund their projects. Maybe one person is like 3 issues in, one's barely starting, one has money to go ahead and just put the artwork and the staff together, so you're almost pooling your resources and you're basically looking to fund each other's project off of each other's project. That's another way to do it, but technically what you end up doing in that respect is you create your own mini company, if you will. So I mean, that's the other model that I know of. I mean, for me, like being an associate producer on a project, like
Who's fidgeting?
that was only different because I mean, this is a guy that I've known of for a while. I've known him for well over, gosh, at least 30 plus years at this point. So it's like I've known him forever. I know the project. He never put it down. I've seen the project grow.
mm,
I know what the project is. He's been able to put out some of the issues, but and here's the thing: it's like when you're starting out, you can't necessarily. It's this wiggle room where your art can't be too terrible, but it can't be top notch either, because that money needs to go to putting the book out. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if your art is too fantastic, you spend all the money on the art. So it's like, okay, you got to cut corners somewhere. Like, are you going to be able to get someone who can do a few pages for free and that kind of stuff? And literally, you're kind of cobbling it together, trying to put this project to be successful. But for me, it's like I just happen to, you know, I just happen to, to know Jeremy, And this is prior to him going to Florida, and it's like, yeah, sure, I'll help you on it. I mean, I believe in this book enough to actually give you some of my money that I know that I'm going to get it back. But it's hard. It's hard because I am not a fan of Kickstarter campaigns. But for whatever reason, people tend to still use Kickstarter. I'm more of a fan of Indiegogo. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use Kickstarter eventually. Since
yeah,
since so I'm doing the Indiegogo right now, but gonna have to use Kickstarter eventually. There's no way to avoid it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it honestly it becomes a passion project. As long as you can get that passion project out, then the subsequent next version will either be improved or it'll be even better. But I mean,
Exactly. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. But
yeah,
thing is,
it's difficult because you have to find people that believe in it.
yeah,
And that's the hard part. That's the hard part.
most people say yeah, a bunch of there's some other people who will say who may say the Goofy knows a horrible concept.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't listen
well,
to
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah,
that's the
don't
thing.
listen.
You have to believe in your and that's the thing. You
Mm,
have to believe in your concept for it to work,
mm,
and
mm.
that's all there is to it. I mean, you can't hedge on that.
People may not like bouncers, but I'm still
Yeah.
going with it.
What's Monsters about?
Oh, it's just furry robot jocks in simplest
Wait,
terms.
Robot Jocks,
Furry robot
furry,
jocks.
like animatronic.
Not necessarily. Just think of the basic plot of robot jocks, but apply it to furry anthropomorphic creatures. You know, kind of like a, be- a a better comparison would be Megalobox, but with furries, without
I
the
know,
gear. Kind of like
I,
kind of like a Hajime Ippo type of
I
deal.
know
But
some Megalobox, but
you seen it or you read
no,
it?
no.
Okay, but yeah, it's something like that. Just only difference is that it's taking place in a sci-fi setting,
Mhm.
and it exists in its own worlds. It's got its own culture, own languages, everything. But
Mm,
that's just only the icing. That's not really like the big focal point. The focal point is just you know the in that world the war open war is outlawed, and the only way you sell disputes is through champion fighting.
Mhm.
mm,
Kind of like the opening scene in
Mm,
Troy,
mm.
where you got the two armies standing in front of each other, and you got Agamemnon says, "Let's sell this the old traditional way. My best fighter versus your best fighter."
that's actually something they did in real life,
Yep,
but
kind of like that. It's basically like that, but like it's expansive though. It's not just necessarily just that. It gets expanded more too within many territories, and it's their way of life now at this point.
mm,
Because open war would just destroy resources, it would kill a lot of people, so they try to avoid that. So to settle disputes, they usually elect a champion or a bouncer to uh to settle their disputes.
mm. I got it.
Or like in the sovereign nations, distribute resources to territory or expand territory, and it stars uh it stars two female characters,
Mm.
and one of them is a known uh a former
Right.
let's go with insurgent or insurrection or formerly insurrectionist or something like that.
Mm, mm.
And she's been operating in one of the sovereign colonies for the better part of her life under incognito,
Right.
but she's getting recruited to be a champion for the big leagues, which is going to be held once
Mhm.
per year, where the champion sits at the top and they get the glory, and they get to distribute the resources to. They decide the resource distribution to one nation's rich resources to give to each sovereign nation outside of that.
Hmm.
But she's only doing it because family a family is there. One of her twin brother is sitting at the top at the moment, and she has to settle a score with him.
Right.
So still doing the artwork, still have to write the story out, and I got another story to prequel it, if you will. But it ain't gonna tell the whole
Oh, you're
story.
making a prequel story for that?
hmm
Oh, wow.
It was originally the main. It was originally the main story, but I put that as a prequel story, and that one's called After Years. And
Oh,
believe it or not, it's the story that it leads up to what the next war happened, because 2 wars happened, and they couldn't survive a third.
Hmm.
okay.
That second war is what led to the agreement that sets up bouncers.
Okay,
Hmm.
then.
Yeah. But what I'm gonna do with that one is just basically tell the origins of twins and what their lives were like before they became for lack of a better term, marauders,
Hmm.
and kind of like a case study of how their life would have been had both of them went native. Only one of them went native.
Oh,
So I'm still in the plot for the Viltrumites, the backstory for the Viltrumites from Invincible.
okay.
Right.
But the difference is that the my Viltrumites or Hayram are already in the land of Ustana.
Okay.
The problem is that they're stranded there now because the attempted invasion that they had for that they enacted on Usana failed, and what was left of them was abandoned by those that were able to get off the island, or at least the continent actually that got off the continent. We didn't hear anything from at all. So whether I decide to bring the ones that managed to get off the continent back, that's all up to me. But it's always a mystery that lingers on Usna. Would they come back for their people, or would they come back to conquer Usna again?
How are they gonna get off if they're already stranded?
No, I'm saying half of them got stranded.
Oh,
The other half got off,
okay.
and the twins and
Hmm.
then their families were the ones that got left behind.
Okay.
So don't get me wrong, guys. I had this all plotted and figured out already. So
Yeah,
like
you
the
had the
first war
story
was
laid
the
out
Hayram
already.
invasion. They fought back with the Mercen regulars, which were dogs that are just basically trained to fight back the Hayram using guerrilla warfare. Um, Now they're just glorified royal guards to whatever sovereign nation they're assigned to, or basically military police. Um, the Hayram they're now pacified in a way after the after the war of fools and kings, which was the second war that started, made up of what was left of the Hayram army and what was reinforced by sovereign colonies that didn't like the way how the high colony was running things,
Hmm.
Okay.
which also failed.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, the other thing I was going to say too,
Hmm.
if we're talking about independent IPs, the other strategy you could do, and I suggest this to my friend as well, so take it for what it
This is going to you,
is
Fizz, or any
Yeah.
of us.
um,
Actually,
basically just having a different project that's more commercial. I hate to use the word generic, but more palatable to quote the common audience, just to be able to go ahead and push your actual project, because that's the other thing too. Like it's at the very beginning, it's about bringing these people in, because again, you're gonna need the funding. So if your passion project is a project you need to do or complete, the other way to get around that barrier is getting them sold onto something that they'll jump on the minute they see it. Some people might call it, oh, that's an imitation DC this character, or an imitation Marvel DC this character, or imitation storyline akin to this. That's really not the problem. The problem is uh, not being able to get people to onto a project from its inception. So like I said, it might have to be something a little bit more streamlined that people just happen to like. Okay, let's say everyone's into Transformers right now, so you come up with a Transformer type story with those type of characters that don't really that don't really get you in trouble with copyright. But once you got them hooked, then you can go ahead and put out your A game, and then suddenly they're like, "Oh wow, this is great!" And it's like it's like, where were you people? In the very beginning, I had to go ahead and sell you a bill of goods for you to sign up for this. It's like, so I mean, it can be annoying, but that's another way of doing it too.
Right.
So,
Right.
Even though there are like many comic book characters that I do remember that are completely based off Superman. Like, are you guys any shape or form familiar with the character of Supreme?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you
Okay.
talking about Squadron Supreme?
No, the
No.
character Supreme by Alan Moore.
Oh.
It was when what's that guy's name? Shoot, I already forgot his name.
Rob Liefeld.
Yes. I don't know why that name blanked me. Yeah, Rob Liefeld when he was doing Youngblood, where the characters are overly masculine and the feminine characters are way too
Grumpy.
big. Oh, hey, Grumpy. And yet, he even did this character of Supreme, and he wanted Alan, and he was actually a very stereotypical Rob Liefeld character, grinning a lot, overly muscular, and he wanted Alan Moore to do it, and then Alan Moore said yes, under one condition. He wanted to do a reboot of that character and actually make him into something, basically make the best things out of Superman. And I saw this on the Professor Geek video, basically all about that character of Supreme. And
Right.
And you can actually find it, the story of Supreme, which is around $80 on Amazon, which is really hard to find because of that. And it should be somewhere on digital stores, I could guarantee. So yeah.
I was saying,
yeah,
keep talking, man. If you got more to
but
talk
I mean,
about.
creatively, that's how you have to play the game. Realistically, I
Mhm.
mean, it's about it's about accruing an audience, and then once you have the audience, is keeping them hooked. And what's going to keep them hooked is going to be more content. So,
Yep.
I mean, that's what
Yes.
everybody complains about right now on YouTube is that there isn't any content. I'm like, it's out there. You're just not looking for it.
You
You're
refuse to
looking
look for it. You're
content from people that aren't willing to give it to you anymore because they've been established. They're established companies. There's no one that's going to be coming around the bend to topple them. So
it's almost they're naively blind. Like they're
oh
blind
no,
to their own
they definitely know
naivety.
what they're doing. I mean, they are blind to that fact. Yes, I mean, but you don't have have the Stan Lees anymore. I mean, they've died off, if you will. So
Yeah.
no pun intended. So.
Okay. If I can never get Goof North funded, then I'll probably just have make this book called Dryad, but based on one of my characters I don't really care about.
Dryad.
Yeah, it's a black woman with the power to control plants, and she's a superhero.
Yeah, that could work. I mean,
Intriguing. Tell me more.
Basically going to connect her to some African folklore, and she's pretty much wears laws wrestling.
And she calls herself a Greek.
She don't call herself that. Other people call her that.
Right.
Okay. Tell me more.
And I can't really tell you more, so I didn't really develop it. So I honestly don't care that much. Her main villain is going to be called Banana Man. And
oh, that's awesome.
Banana Man.
Tell me more.
And it's a guy who wears.
That is going to be Croconana.
Hang on, everybody.
And his costume is going to be he wears an all yellow costume. He has blonde hair, and his power is that he talks to monkeys and apes and controls them.
Cool.
So he just wears nothing but yellow, and that's why he's called Banana Man.
Yeah.
What does the monkey say?
Well, the feminists are just going to jump on that.
Yeah, but it brings in money, and then at the end of the comic, I'll just have Dryad die, so I won't have to burn the writing anymore.
Why would you do
No,
that?
you could do that,
Wait,
or
is
you
your
could just
story
put her on
based into
pause.
the
Like
real
we don't
world,
know what else is
Fizz?
going on with her.
Why don't you
So I
just
mean,
why don't you just give her a definitive ending, like an
you could
open
do that
ending? It's
too,
like
because mangas do that. They're not like ongoing all the time. I would say they're more like
that's
they're
it. That's the
more
end of
like
the story. There's like even if they ask for more, you just say no. This is her story. She's complete.
yep,
None. That's all you're gonna get.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it
No,
like that. Do it
I
like
got to
that.
explain why she's not around for some other storylines because got other comics set in Africa that are actually important, but
Okay.
set in that continent, around even in that same similar area. But we got to find a way to explain why she's not around. So maybe she has to die at the end or something.
Well, I mean, the
If
other
not,
thing that also is a possibility is that in the process of development, you just end up falling in love with writing in that particular storyline, and even though you may not like the character too much, you like everything that takes place in that world, and so you might end up actually developing another character that actually spins out of that. So, so it could be
Now,
that too. It could be that too. Or
now
most oftentimes, what can happen is you fall in love with the character as you give it more depth, and you just kind of scrub away a little bit more of the caricature side of it. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a little romance in the story as long as it's not forced.
Oh yeah.
what's that? What's Onision? I don't even know what the hell it is.
I'm going. I'm gonna sum it. I'm gonna sum it up in one clip.
I'm not into guys with vaginas.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah, I was about to ask Fizz a question about his story. Does it take place in the real world or is it an urban fantasy?
Come on, go for no.
Uh, I'm asking you like about your story. Like, is it an urban fantasy or does it take place in the
I
real
think he's
world?
talking about Dryad.
Oh, Dryad. Oh,
Yeah.
Dryad. No, in the real world, for most of it, it's still superhero setting, but it's not established superhero setting yet.
Oh, okay.
mhm.
But but nobody really. She lives out. She's not in a part of society. She lives out in the jungle.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
That wouldn't be bad at all because that would kind of echo, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, almost. So
Yeah. For
That's
I
awesome.
me,
mean,
Explains his
there's so many ways you can go ahead and write a character. I mean,
Or
what?
at least it won't be another generic city setting.
Oh,
true.
you mean like Wakanda?
Yeah. Well, just in general.
Well, Wakanda was never generic. It is now, but it was never
Mhm.
generic. I mean, it was a plot device for more, but
I
now
already
it's just
said
like,
that in my Black Panther rewrite.
but
That
now
was not
it's more
Wakanda.
of, oh, I thought you was gonna open a Starbucks. So it's like it's
It's
generic,
not Wakanda.
generic.
That's not fucking Wakanda. Ryan Coogler does not know Black Panther the same way Tiny Shitty Coats don't know about Black Panther.
Yeah.
For me, if anything else, if I always got projects to fall back on, definitely, especially the one where I want to start a demon that wants to escape from hell.
That would be interesting.
I might be back. Wait, I gotta use the restroom. So
All
Right
right,
ahead,
dude.
man.
Yeah, like it originally was a story about four friends that later became holy warriors, so to speak. One being of demonic energy, the others of angelic energy.
Right.
But then over time, I was like, maybe I should make the one demonic character a full demon that actually escapes from hell to experience the human world, since he's curious about it.
Right.
And the circle he hails from is the violent circle, so he has to fight his way through each circle of hell to get out,
Ooh, nice.
challenged by the devil himself.
I was just about to ask if there are going to be how many circles of hell are there?
9.
7? Oh, 9 circles.
It's
of hell.
9.
I was just about to ask that.
So each circle he has to fight a guardian of the gate, and each guardian is it's the physical embodiment of whatever is the circle that you land on that end up on. My only challenge is to figure out how the circles operates. So for him, his circle is easy because it's violence. That was the easiest, and that's where he's starting from already. He's not, because since he's already there, that's where he's going to start. So he gets out of that pretty easy because it's violence. So like as far as greed is concerned, or sloth, I have to really work out how he's gonna. There are times he'll have to fight his way out of it. There's sometimes he has to outthink his way out of it, and it'll end on him.
Right.
Obviously, the end is going to be him just breaching Earth.
Right.
Now, if I wanted to continue that story, he will definitely meet a human girl, but he'll be inhabiting I will say he'll be inhabiting the dead body of someone in order to do that, or possessing somebody's body.
Mhm.
Make a what moral dilemma of that, if you will. I don't intend to make him a hero. He is not a hero. He's a violence demon.
Right.
So just because he came to Earth doesn't mean he's automatically developed morals.
Yeah,
But
he ain't no Superman.
exactly. So if anything, he'll be learning a bit of morals, but he still can do horrible things because of his nature.
Right.
So the fuck
Because
is that in the
you're not
background?
born. I have no idea what the heck that was back there. I did hear that.
I half expected it was
I'm back.
Brian doing that.
No, it wasn't me.
No, no,
Like the only thing I had was a little thunderstorm earlier, and that was it.
I'm back.
Okay.
It's been pretty quiet over here.
Yeah.
In little
But
California.
yeah, his thing. I have quite a few projects I actually care about. Like for example,
Right.
Gryffindor is one of them.
Mhm.
Another one is Salamantis, which is about an alien that looks like something like a mix between a salamander and an insect, or praying mantis to be more specific.
Mhm.
And they call her that. She didn't call herself that. They call her that. Basically, she's what's called a Phibodian.
What now?
Her species is called Phibodians. Phibodians.
Phibodians.
Okay, she escaped from a laboratory and started a comic series, and
That's
because
funny.
Nice.
because her backstory is that she grew up she has an egg on Earth because her mother was kidnapped by these other aliens called Demofari, and there's a bunch of eggs, and they lay eggs, by the way. Salamantis isn't human in appearance at all, by the way.
Mhm.
The
Is she
government
high
shot.
at least?
Nope,
Not even a cute monster girl.
nope, not at all. That's actually a plot point.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because she's not hot. What basically nobody likes or trusts her.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh.
okay, so basically Demofari kidnap her, take these eggs, take these eggs and plan to use them, train them to be assassins on Earth by having these alien worshipping cult on Earth for humans. Raise her to be basically an assassin. As part of the Demofari's invasion plan. That was the plan, but then the CIA infiltrated the cult, shot down the UFO. All the eggs died except one. As this UFO landed in a swamp somewhere in deep south.
The Deep South.
Yeah, and she hatched the egg. The one egg hatched and grew up in the swamp. That's Salamantis. And eventually scientists came and kidnapped her. She got away, and she's trying to get back to the swamp.
Right.
And
Talking
trying to
about
get back.
Son of ET.
That's based. And then but then she meets this little girl, and they spark a friendship. It's basically
Mm.
it's
Will it
basically
mix of
like
Starfire?
no No, it's basically like Lilo and Stitch kind of actually.
Ah,
Ah.
you still got my attention, but not really. You got my attention.
Mhm.
You
And
have my attention, but now you really got my attention.
and basically there's another science experiment from that laboratory she escaped um from the laboratory she escaped from another science experiment. This one's not an alien. This one's a cybernetic dolphin named Deathfin.
Yeah.
Comes and who's on a murder rampage ever since he broke
Man,
out.
we need to get our own studio ready. We need to fund this guy's projects. He got the craziest ideas,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
working on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Called
Yeah, that I'm
Deathfin.
easily excitable.
Who's a cybernetic dolphin who's on a murder rampage ever since he broke out the laboratory and killing humans.
That's actually pretty cool.
Wait,
And
a cybernetic dolphin?
yes,
Yeah.
and
Keep your heart
I
on
wonder if they
Echo.
took that from Austin Powers 3.
Wait.
Dolphins with freaking lasers.
Yeah.
no, he doesn't have lasers. He doesn't have lasers, but he does have guns. Lots of guns. And
Oh.
he's on being on a murder rampage. Since he escaped from the laboratory. He finds out Salamantis is active again from social media. And decides to hunt her down, try to convince her to go on his side and help him kill all the humans. But
You
she doesn't
just
want.
gotta go out there and do it.
But she doesn't want to because she's become friends with the humans. So he decides to go to kill all friends and all despite her.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
Well,
Can you describe what the aliens look like?
the Phobodians, or the
Yes,
Demon Fari.
both of them.
Oh.
Start with the Phobodians.
The Phobodians are like these bipedal salamanders to around average around 5 feet tall. And they have antennas, long antennas, and the females and males look different from each other. Um, the males are shorter, actually shorter, and
Like
they're amphibians.
frogs.
The males are actually shorter, just like frogs, and and females are just pure orange in terms of color, while the males have spots, lots of spots, and males actually have claws, where the females don't have claws. And basically. And they also got these beady all black eyes. Seem like.
I mean, given that they're aliens, but yeah.
Can never go wrong there.
Yeah. It does kind of look like insect eyes almost.
Okay.
Okay, and a sound mantis, her power set is that basically anything a frog can do, plus Taskmaster. So she can imitate the moveset of other beings, but it's different from Taskmaster in that she can shoot these nerves out of her fingers into the bodies of other living creatures and take and then take their skill set in terms of physical mobility.
Interesting.
Mimicry through contact.
These nerves that come out of her fingers and stab into the nerves of other.
Like tendrils.
Yeah.
Sound like a story. Sound like a species-inspired story there.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an adventure story.
Someone said Wolf loves it. Even the chat loves it too.
It's basically a story about her being a superhero because set my same comic universe as Goofanoid, and
I can kind of see it as being a horror story too.
Not really. She's not a villain at all.
I know, but I'm saying on the same token, I can kind of see it as a horror story too.
Yeah, but
not saying that you should. All I'm saying is, as I'm hearing this, I'm like, when you mentioned the whole tendrils, mimicry, and all that, that can also be used as a horror story too.
Because there is an evil Foreboding I got planned, but and anyways, and she's trying to be a superhero, but the thing is, the plot of the story is the government doesn't like her but the people do. The people do from her actions, and people don't know how to react to an alien that doesn't look anything like a human, trying to be a superhero of any kind. So she becomes a basically a tourist attraction, and she lives in a hotel, and the user has a tourist attraction for obvious reasons, not getting and making a lot of bank off of her, and and there are these other and her Rose Gallery, just these other aliens like we got the Demon Fari, trying to
Describe their design.
they're like they're like the stereotypical 1950s alien of a little green men, little green.
The
They
Greys?
have not they're not gray. They're
Okay.
green. They're
Little
either
green
green or
men.
blue. They're either green or blue, and
Alright.
they got different races in their plants. So either green or they blue, and and like little different races on their plants. So either green or blue, and and some have antennas, some don't. This is actually a plot point.
Mm.
And and they use and they basically live on a socialist dictatorship on their planet.
Ah.
On their planet, and they got like they're one of the most powerful alien races in the galaxy. In terms of the empire, they're trying to assimilate all the other alien
Join
races.
the expansion or
Exactly.
die.
Exactly. And the reason why they're at war with like they go think about another empire. Like how many war with another empire called the pseudo arachnids. The pseudo arachnids are actually good guys.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They're basically like the bugs. Pseudo crustaceans. I mean, it's basically like the bugs. They're basically bugs. But Demon Fari are trying to colonize Earth, not directly, not through an open invasion. They can't do that because that'll start off a whole chain of other events. Other alien races might show up immediately. They don't want all that trouble. So they gotta do it slowly. They get Earth conditions so that when the Demon Fari finally reveals himself, they'll just unite unanimously. So of course, Salamantis is a problem in that since and what the main one she fights is Demon Forest. She fights is a Demon Forest named Snowtop, who was blue and wears a white hat on, and that's how what else comes Snowtop.
Hmm.
Right.
But okay, and
I like it. I really do.
yeah,
Interesting.
It's better than what most alien stories we're getting these days.
Yeah.
It's actually, well, truth be told, it's the traditional way of how you would tell an alien story, or at least a fish out of water story.
Right.
Now, I will also, to give some examples here, they're ruling sci-fi. We already know that,
Oh yeah.
and it's going to continue to keep going. It's going to keep that route, and at least we have like-minded individuals that know how a traditional story works. So, if anything, fall back on that one too after Goofanoid Fizz, because I'm really interested in your story ideas. I really want to fund your Indiegogo too.
Yeah, when launch.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I just like to say
In terms
that
of
story that Fizz just put up sounds bizarre, but brilliant.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Trooper?
no. In terms of like any additional comments, no, not really. I mean, the thing is just getting as many ideas out there as possible. I mean, that's how this process works. I mean, if you're not exposing yourself to new ideas or you're not exposing the audience to other ideas outside of what's available, then culture stagnates. And this is where we're kind of at. I mean, we're already seeing it from the big companies that their model is to rehash something they already own.
Yeah.
Why? Because they have the licensing. It's cheaper to do it that way. I mean, let's be real. I mean, and as far as injecting politics into it, or not even politics, as far as injecting ideology into it.
Propaganda.
That's what a lot of this is basically now used for. It's no longer telling stories. Now they're lecturing at this point because they can.
Yeah, they've been doing that since what 2016 already.
Yeah,
And
right.
they
Well,
Yeah, it's most likely.
out in the open, yeah, out in the
out
open,
and open
for
now.
sure.
Yeah,
They've been doing it
Because you got to
subtly for
remember
years.
that's how they pushed Rogue One. Remember, it was an anti-Orange Man film, and then when you went to see the
What do you
film,
mean?
and it wasn't
It was made
anything
before
at all.
Orange Man became president.
Yeah, they were more in the open about it. Before it was all about subversiveness. Did they really mean that? No, we didn't really mean that. It's like now it's out in the open. Now they want you to more or less
conform
give
to
into
their.
They more or
give
less
in.
see hatred towards Nazis as somehow moral.
Oh
Like-
yeah, and the word itself means something completely different now because anyone can be that now. It's like it's
Mhm.
not
It used to be
tied
national
to
socialist.
race. I mean, we saw it with Larry. Larry is the face of supremacy now. And I'm thinking that's so weird.
Despite the fact that
You're
white
watching the white
supremacists
woman
would
in a
probably shoot
gorilla
him
mask.
dead.
That
Yeah.
to me, I was like, I'm like, it's Bizarro Land. Like I told you guys in the last stream, like the rules have changed. I don't know what the rules are. Like they keep changing all the time. It's like only the weirdos that are in it understand it. I don't.
It's
But
because
yeah,
they're
Like a
not
bad
really
inside
consistent.
joke that nobody gets.
yeah, it is. It is. I agree.
It's more so like, yeah, they're not really consistent. Like if you say anything like James Gunn, it was right when Suicide Squad 2 comes out. I refuse to call it the Suicide Squad because why the frick would they even have the same name as the first?
It's like
Oh,
this,
yeah.
man. It's like this. Hip hop diet is full of guys who cannot even rap fast. Media divide us by colors, white or black, fast. If you believe in Jesus these days, Christians get attacked fast. If you don't hate police, then everybody thinks you're whack. And everybody's so connected. Black lives got so aggressive. White folks can't agree.
That sounds
Everybody-
like stereotyping. That's basically what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's funny you bring it up, Final Fantasy fan, because they go on about how much they hate stereotypes, but they find everybody 5 freaking stereotypes.
Screaming for the rooftops, beat down better, turn us
And I
on
thought
each other
Disney Channel
now,
was
no
so much
lies
worse
matter.
at doing this with their films. Like it started doing that with High School Musical with the first one, because the characters are just literally nothing but just stereotypes. And the other films post High School Musical copy exactly that formula and exactly those exact stereotypes. It's not even original. I would say the only good Disney Channel movie that they've done was Sky High, because it was actually made by people who liked superhero comics, and they actually put their love for that in there.
You know, I
don't think that was this Disney Channel movie. I think that was a theatrical movie.
Oh yeah.
it was.
I mean,
That's
I thought
why.
their only theatrical film that they ever released for that was actually the third High School Musical, because they actually released that in theaters.
Yeah. Excuse me. I even said this too one time. Freaking Sky High was the original Invincible.
Sky High's
Especially,
original My Hero Academia.
At that point, yeah.
Well, yeah. Wait, just a quick question. When was the My Hero Academia manga actually made?
When in doubt, Bing.
I think 2014 the manga was made.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was when the anime was released.
Give me a sec. Wikipedia. Okay. Original run April 3rd, 2016.
2016? Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Yep.
It's not really that long. It felt
I
like
mean, wait a minute, hang on. That's the anime. Sorry, that's the anime release. The manga
the
release
anime
is
came out
20.
in 2016.
The manga release was July 7th, 2014.
It's just like
Oh,
what
it
I
was
said.
2014 when it came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fact check that. That's what we're doing. Fact checking.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. But I want you to know that Sailor Mantis is superhero number 4 in my comic universe. I got a specific order. One is Goophanoid, 2 Doomfish, 3 Lightwave, and 4 Salamantis. I got it right now. I got a whole bunch of other ones playing.
Mhm.
And Invincible was 2003
Yep.
publication date. That was 2003 February 2018. I think that might have been its republishing for February 2018. Sorry, let me fact check these stories.
Hmm.
And Sky High was 2005.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, some people have a problem with the power set of my third superhero, Lightwave. So people have a problem with the power set with it.
Some people,
Yeah. The power set. Okay, if you let me explain the concept of Lightwave. She's it's a teenage girl, 14-year-old girl with pale skin and blonde hair, and that's her appearance.
she's
Um,
Snowflake.
what?
I
No.
kid, I kid, I kid.
Okay. Uh, her
Well,
power
she's
set
not
is her
safe
power.
space.
No. Her power set is power set is she got 2 powers: super speed and energy constructs. And
Oh, she's traveling at light speed then. Cool.
no. She run fast. She run fast as speed of sound. That's about it. The reason why they call it lightweight because she glow when she's got these energy constructs made out of light.
Mm. And people have a problem with that? Why?
And she got super because of the 2 power sets. 2 powers don't go together. You know.
They think they clash,
No, they don't clash. I know how shots use it. I already got that planned out.
right?
She uses them together all the time.
Hmm.
But she's less powerful than Superman at her best. So I don't know
Yep.
how's your power.
Well, they take the super speed as OP all the time.
She's not the Flash. She can't
Nope.
just run so fast. She can be in reality. She don't see here's how it works. The powers I actually
I believe you. My thing
mm,
is that this is the mindset of people
mm,
when they think powers make the superhero.
mm.
Right. It's how you use the power that makes the superhero.
Yeah, because
And
she
that's
uses
basically the problem. They are so focused on the powers rather than the character itself. Kingdom Come even explained this too right at the end, where they're focusing on the super rather than the man. It was right when
Mm.
Superman was destroying everything after Shazam was killed. And it was even why a lot of DC writers, when Scott Snyder was doing Batman, they are always doing so much of making Batman less of a man and making the Joker less of just like a guy who literally went insane after he just lost his shit to where he just cannot even take it anymore.
mm.
And it just gets ridiculous.
Like for example, that's probably why we get all these evil Superman stories because writers don't understand Superman as a character. They just see
Or
as
rapey
a power set.
invisible dudes.
Exactly, yeah.
Pretty much.
They
You know,
see
like,
Go ahead.
they see
Hang on,
Superman as
Brian.
a
Go
power
ahead,
set,
Jason.
and that's it. And
yeah,
that's it.
I was gonna say, like, it reminds me of what Schooner was saying the other night about how those writers think that, oh, if superheroes were more like me, they'd be better people or some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
Fantasy fan, I think you remember on for that one.
I do remember that fondly, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you used the term fondly quite loosely. I was fuming about it the last couple of days.
Yeah, he was. Your anger knows no bounds on that front.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think I took it out on the gym yesterday, just doing a back workout for
It's
that.
even
Just
exactly right when I said I was getting tired of this moral ambiguity bullcrap.
same here.
And that's why a lot of people would say, but heroes, do you think it's okay for heroes to even have flaws? Okay, fine, if you want them to have flaws, yeah. But
Well,
don't
there's
make
being
it...
flawed, and then there's being an asshole.
Yes! And it's even why I'm already getting sick and tired of, like, when the one villain says that they did nothing wrong. For one example, Funny Valentine from JoJo Part 7.
Yep.
They say that he done nothing wrong, which
Ah,
he's
ah,
not.
ah, ah, ah,
Exactly what he's done.
They did it with Griffith too. Don't forget.
No JoJo talk. I'm still on that shit.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Let's do somebody else. Thanos, that good in the
Yeah.
MCU Thanos.
Yep.
They did it with Griffith too. Don't forget. Remember that
Yep.
whole meme?
Well, that was a meme. Everybody know Griffith did everything wrong. Like I defy you to find me anybody who will tell you they agree with Griffin or they stand by what Griffith did. Like they always they think that what he did was the right thing. Like even if the other people are evil people or horrible people, and not Griffith still did terrible things. Regardless, if like you want to you want to judge them the exact same way you judge the villains of Berserk.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he calls the assassination of a noble, and by causality, the death of a noble's son.
Right.
You know,
And there's
he go ahead.
I was about to say something about this. It's just kind of the same thing with the sympathetic villains, which a lot of people always like to bend towards to make the villains. Like the two examples I always think of when I think of sympathetic villains, I always think of Mr. Freeze and the Phantom of the Opera. Because they're obviously so evil that they always try to get everything that they want because of one thing. Like Mr. Freeze is trying to save his wife, but yet he has to go far to the extreme because he's so caught up in the grief of his wife. And the Phantom of the Opera, he was denied by everyone because of his face, which is why he wears a mask. And so now he wants revenge on that, even though he's kept into the opera house in the lower levels, because that's where he was hiding.
Right.
And it's fine that you want to make a sympathetic villain, but don't even make it stupid like they did in Power Rangers Samurai, where they just did Decker. Because Juzo, he's a bastard. He's literally straight up evil.
You didn't like the backstory to Decker?
I like Cole's actor. I hated what they did with Decker, because
I don't like Cole.
Cole's
a criminal now.
Oh yeah. Anyways, Juzo in Shinkenger, he's a bastard.
Mm-hmm.
But Decker and Samurai, I have no idea why they thought it's a good idea to even make him sympathetic. And you want to know what's even worse?
What?
They made Master Xandred, what's his name? Juzo. Yeah, Juzo. That's the main villain in Shinkenger. They just easily made him just a grumpy. He makes him sound like a grumpy redneck. Because Juzo,
he's always drinking sake.
Yeah, in Shinkenger they basically drink some of the Samsu water, even though he actually calls it booze. But in the Shinkenger, because that's basically that. But he stays there so much because in Shinkenger the monsters, they can only go out there for some amount of time, actually from how much power that they can actually sustain. But if they sustain so much power, that's when they begin to dry up. That's why they need so much water. But Juzo, he needs so much of that because he's so damn powerful. That's why he stayed in there for such a long time. But as for Samurai, he just sits there for no reason. Juzo sits around a lot, but when he's not sitting around, he's freaking scary. He's actually terrifying. And even compare this with the main villain in what was it? Zoojer. Yeah, Zoojer, where he just sits around all the time.
Anybody up for a Power Rangers talk one of these days?
Oh, I'd be down for that, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I said was, I actually thought, some people complain, about Lightwave's power set is that two powers that have nothing to do with each other. They don't cancel each other out. Let me explain how it works. So basically, she creates weapons, and then uses them at super speed. So
I don't see why not you. I don't see why you shouldn't use that as a good power set.
Like for example, she creates a sword and then you know how you ever play Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance?
Yep.
Oh
yes.
Yeah, she do 10 cuts on people in 2 seconds or something. 10 cuts on a robot in 2 seconds.
You're gonna get me and final started, man.
And and keep in mind, she has no other powers besides those two. The reason why this is important, she's not invulnerable. She's not invulnerable, and this means that if she tries to punch something harder than flesh at super speed, she's gonna break an arm, unless she uses the energy construct
Is she a
to.
glass cannon?
Yeah, very much. Unless she uses the energy
Wait,
construct
hold
to
on.
great.
Sorry, Fizz. I got the two villains in Shinkenger mixed up. I said that I think I called him Juzo, but that's already the name for Deckard Samurai. It's Dogoku. That's
Oh,
Master's Android. My mistake.
okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay, got it. I said, like for example, if she's gonna punch somebody at super speed, she gonna need to use her energy constructs to create a gauntlet so she can do it without breaking a hand on a robot or something.
Hmm.
Or if she's fighting a robot or she's fighting somebody who's invulnerable, she's gonna need to do that.
Right.
Or, another,
Who's your favorite Shield agent in Agent of Shield?
I know watch Agents of Shield. I
Okay,
don't
never
watch the
mind.
first episode when it came out, and that's it.
Never mind then. I thought it was gonna be Yo Yo. Keep talking.
Okay, and she punched. Another thing is she uses the powers together at all the time to create these awesome combos. Like
Mm.
for example, one point creates a hammer, and then you hammer something at super speed with the hammer, like Woody Woodpecker. Hammers a robot and to break down armor. And it's like that, like because and speed's a force multiplier, so she can use the weapons with speed to create these ultimate attacks. But she has to dodge everything because she's
Ride no
not invulnerable
speedster.
herself. Mhm. Yeah, and she had either out block it depending on what it is. Well, with the energy construct, so like she can make a shield or something, or a wall or something.
Comes with territorial constructs.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, she can't block other light based attacks, and a lot of her superpower villains have light based attacks. So she got to just dodge in line of sight. So
Hmm. So you do have a balance.
yes, there's balance because there's balance. I know.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people think that she's OP when there's people out there like that can counter her.
Hmm.
That's like saying Superman's still OP regardless of their many strong, super
Mhm.
strength villains out there that can match his strength. It's like dude, in a world where nearly like 50 people have super strength, like you still all up in my face talking about some Superman's too OP.
It's not
Yeah,
just
they
that. A lot.
compare this to his strength rather than. Yeah, they always go for strength for Superman by trying to face against, and that's why they think he's so hard, which I find bullshit.
I know because a lot they tend writers tend to completely forget Superman's rogues gallery. Like, he has one,
Yeah.
and a lot of those villains can actually challenge him very much. I mean,
And
Yeah.
they
Exactly,
forget
which
that
is why
Superman
Dan
is
Steele
very intelligent.
influenced the characters.
I'm saying people forget that Superman is very intelligent. I mean, think about it like this: if he was unintelligent, how the hell he got into the Daily Planet?
exactly. He's a
Right.
journalist.
How the hell he know how to spell? He know how to spell words correctly, whereas Lois like maybe misspelled one or two words. You have to go to
He's
school for
still a
journalism.
Mac
I
computer.
know.
By the way, I have a dream that one day every person in this nation will control their own destiny. A nation of the truly free, damn it. A nation of action, not words. Ruled by strength, not committee. Where the law changes to suit the individual, not the other way around. Where power and justice are back where they belong. In the hands of the people. Where every man is free to think, to act for himself. Fuck all these limp dick lawyers and these chicken shit bureaucrats. Fuck this 24-hour internet spew of trivia and celebrity bullshit. Fuck
Yeah.
American pride. Fuck the media. Fuck all of it. America's disease. Rotten to the core. There's no saving it. We need to pull it out by the roots. Wipe the slate clean. Burn it down. From the ashes, a new America will be born. Evolve, but untamed. The weak will be purged and the strongest will thrive. Free to leave and then see fit. They'll make America great again. In my new America, people will die and kill for what they believe. Not for the money, not for oil, not for what they are told is right. Every man will be free to fight his own wars. Usually, final falls after me. Are you tired, man?
You're not bad. I was wrong. You're not bad. You're batshit insane.
He's right.
Yeah. By the way, Senator Armstrong did nothing wrong. You're right.
So true.
I wonder if anybody ever. They keep making Donald Trump allegories to that man. Like, no, he's not. He is so far from Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That dude is a twisted that dude is a twisted Richard Nixon. If I ever seen one.
Well, these days, every person that they don't like is Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why so much of the media people always compare, like, always make their villain in the story sound and look a lot like Donald Trump, like Mark Wade. It was in his
Remember Trump Modoc?
Over Modoc's face, like he looked like
Oh
Donald
goodness,
Trump.
Trump Modoc.
Oh god.
I still remember that. That was bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Or
Yeah,
Trump clocks in the new Animaniacs.
Oh god.
Trump sides on Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Any way to make a joke out of a man that only wanted to make America great again.
Yep.
I'm
ready to write a book about being hated in America, and you an American.
Yeah.
By the way, I agree with Melissa Harris. The Titans TV show, yeah, not a list of garbage.
Fuck Batman. Fuck you too if you say fuck Batman, you little dipshit.
I saw the trailer to that and I said no. Like this lady said no, I'm not watching that. None of the Titans are anything like how they're supposed to be at all.
No, and Starfire's not black. She's a fucking Tamaranian.
I know she's supposed to be orange. It's supposed to be orange.
Look, I don't give a damn if she was blue. She's a fucking alien. Just because you cast a black woman or a black man in the role does not automatically make the character yours or to the black community.
And they ain't dark skin orange.
Yeah.
It's anytime she's not orange because they want to make the show more realistic and less silly. Like it's kind of the Teen Titans are a silly team though. They're not the Batman. They try to make it in the style of Netflix TV shows and Marvel shows.
You know, they're making that excuse, but there's a lot of actors and actresses that
in the comics, you know,
that go through the grain to really get their bodies painted for these roles. Even black folk.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you mean to tell me this black chick could not sit for hours for the makeup at all?
But the chick who plays Gamora does. So how the hell she can't?
Right.
And Mystique, don't
it's
forget.
It's because they're trying to copy so much off Nolan's Batman, despite that it's not DC. It's definitely not Batman either.
And they had the audacity to put her in a hooker outfit.
And now that also in that show, Dick Grayson is not Dick Grayson at all. It's pretty much just Jason Todd, and they call him Dick Grayson or Damian Wayne.
Exactly. That's not even Dick Grayson. Even when he's in the Nightwing suit, he's still not Dick Grayson.
I know, like it's like why didn't they just use Red Hood or Damian Wayne if they wanted to?
Yeah, they even actually put Jason in there, despite he was supposed to be with Batman.
Even though they built both the same character.
Yeah.
In the show.
And then
and then none of the characters act like they're supposed to at all except Beast Boy. Even he's not green skin.
Yeah, the only thing.
Don't get me started on Raven's powers.
Like in that, like none of them act like they're supposed to at all except Beast Boy, and that's it. Like Starfire in name only, and that's it. Same thing, Dick Grayson. Like, I saw from the trailer.
And don't even get me freaking started with Raven.
When I saw the trailer, I couldn't even tell that I was supposed to be Starfire. I couldn't even tell. I literally didn't even know.
Same here, man. Comments. Same here. It's like that's supposed to be Starfire. That's supposed to be Starfire. Really?
No, I even know.
I'm not convinced.
Yeah, I didn't know it was Starfire. Like, yeah, because you don't look nothing like her, so it doesn't matter. And no, or act.
Oh, it's because you grew up with that cartoon show because you can't fap to her, bitch. Do it look like I spend most of my days
Like,
looking at a motherfucking TV screen jerking off every
Now
damn
that,
day?
but the
they're
comic book's the
projecting when
same
they
way.
say that.
Like it's always been that. It's always been that way. Like she's always been orange. She's never been version of
Mm-hmm.
Starfire that wasn't orange.
Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is they really obsessed with what dudes do in the past time. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, when every time somebody bring that shit up, I'm like, well, at least I'm not fapping to little kids or gay or a gay couple
Exactly.
or even a trans person because I'm pretty sure they don't like that shit.
She probably they made me do these film. A lot of these films probably fap in the Steven universe.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I mean. They project when they start making that stuff. Like, oh, you fab to that character or some BS like that.
It's like, man, like at least I know what you do in your alone time.
Yeah.
Mm. And probably fap to the new She-Ra from the
Oh
lesbian
yeah.
She-Ra cartoon. I mean that was made for that purpose. That was the whole one reason why the
Yeah.
purpose
Yep.
point cartoon exists.
They want to condition them
Yeah.
to just
And
fap
even then-
to potato sacks.
Yeah, and even then, the Yuri animes have them beating that part.
I know, but they don't want to watch
Mm.
those because women in those are too much attractive, and don't act like bitches.
No, they do not.
Hell, Sun Rays are more classy than these broads.
Oh hell yeah! Anything is more classy than any of those bitches they put on screen.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is beautiful. So man, one of these days, I guess I have to do it myself. I have to create a whole creators guild.
That's how it
Oh, yeah.
works. How it works.
Just form a creators guild. Just have a banking system for our future creators that want to create
Right.
things that everybody love.
Right.
So that these SJ hobos don't try to steal it through somebody else.
It's just like a
Trademark that
sign.
shit.
If I can't have this world, then nobody can.
Mm.
Then if we cannot have your world, then nobody else can. Here's your karma for you, biatch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well put, my friend.
You guys ever hear that straight is now systemic oppression?
Oh good.
So you can't be. So you can't be.
Everything is oppression. These fucking
And
morons.
any woman that
Yeah,
deserves.
but this is more oppression, if you will, because you're giving into the ideology of what being straight is, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand.
Being straight is not an ideology. It's just a state of being.
Exactly. Like
Just
say
like
if
your
I
just like
go-
your just
if I
like
go
your
to a
same
crowd,
sexness.
Like say if
Mhm.
if I see a crowd of people when I go to New York, like say if I go to New York and I go to a
Right.
crowd, do I see and then I see people, do I assume that there might be a gay or lesbian or anything in the LGBT community in and around? There might be, but I don't judge that because that's not my job. I see them as people, not as that thing. There's not going to be one in every crowd, but they
there
don't
isn't.
even say that because that's the one thing they always deny. They're so far in denial that they don't even exist. But even though they don't exist, but there's
We
not
got a
gonna be
good
one
show
in
for you
every single
today.
crowd. They're just people. But
Yeah.
now here they are in their stories, just even stereotyping the people that they're trying to write to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You
You
can't
know it's
forget
from
Q-Force.
All they understand are stereotypes.
it's from people who never experienced any type of discrimination, and they're just basically just using that because people back in the days did that to other people.
Yeah.
To people who never even did that before at all.
And
To which
yeah,
I
they
said,
didn't even go out of their way to even get rid of Song of the South.
Oh yeah, Professor Geek talked about that one.
Oh yeah, no, I have that.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely have the bootleg. I would see why they would want to, but I'm like, it's for what it was contextually in its time of production. It's like, what you're gonna try
I
to
watched it.
write
I
history
never
now?
had a problem with it.
So
But to which I say to these idiots,
Dude, it's not our fault you suck.
Yep.
Well said.
I couldn't have said it more. Thank you, Wolf.
mhm.
I know, and the Harley Quinn cartoon Why did that show exist? I won't watch the first
To
episode.
suck the pussy of Harley Quinn, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's the only reason why it
freaking
exists.
hate that show with a passion.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
I don't
Everybody
blame
wants
you
their
for
own
that.
Deadpool too, by the way.
I know they're trying to, but the thing is, DC already had that. Don't they have Ambush Bug? But they had to forget him, and they had to forget Creeper, and just make Harley Quinn into that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Uh,
they want
really?
to turn abuse into empowerment.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
use
like
to empowerment instead
like
of
Well,
what?
making someone who's
about selling.
abused.
Basically
Yeah, instead of making
victimhood.
someone who's abused into a villain like Tom Riddle, when he might have been. Yeah, he actually was abused, which then he rose so much to power to being raised at Hogwarts, but yet goes so much far out of his way to change up his full name to saying I am Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, that's some bullshit right there.
Mm, but
Have you noticed most of these motherfuckers tend to change their names all the damn time?
Oh yeah.
All the damn time. Like, that ain't your real name. You hate your original name that your mama gave you, didn't you?
They probably hate everything about themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty much why.
Well, that's pretty much. I hate everything about you. Why I love you.
and also there's a thing where where the Harley Quinn cartoon also there's a thing where they got all these weird like they don't want to make a ambush bug cartoon or nothing. DC Comics just forgot ambush bug. What it's like ambush bug exists for a reason.
I never even knew Ambush Bug existed, but here we are.
I mean, I already know Ambush Bug because of Lego Batman 3. He was actually in the roster, and it's also because of Batman the Brave and the Bold. That's basically how I know him.
He looks cute.
Yeah, see, the thing with DC Comics that they tend to forget the vast majority of their characters because they don't care. You know, the people run the company never care. They only care
In
about
their
the core characters.
defense, there is far too many to pay attention to.
No, they only care about Justice League, and Green Arrow.
Yep.
And then
Who remembers ISIS?
um
The
Or
kitty,
who has ever heard of ISIS?
would that be the kitty that always hangs around Catwoman?
No.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else then.
The first female superhero.
Oh.
That was basically the same storyline as Shazam.
Okay. Basically, the only characters, unlike Marvel historically has done a much better job of utilizing most of their characters, because it's not just Justice League is how many people? I mean, not just seven and that's it. Seven and that's it, and that's it. It's not like that with Marvel. Marvel has more uses more characters.
There's ISIS.
Right. Okay.
Let's see.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Nice.
DCU MMO. Bruh. I tried DC Universe. You gotta pay to play that shit.
Oh, DC Universe Online?
Mm-hmm.
That used to be one of my favorite DC games until I stopped playing it for a while. But my new favorite DC game is Lego Batman 3.
Like all these extra characters like Plastic Man. DC has done nothing with Plastic Man for very little.
Plastic Man, I don't know how would you have marketed him actually. That's a question mark on that one.
Well,
Plastic Man. If you don't know, is 1940s character. It's he's a comedy focused superhero, silly and he can stretch.
Yeah, he can even
He's
shape too.
Do you guys you like CW Ralph Dibny.
Oh, the elongated man.
Hmm.
Not a fan of that character. I like the elongated man in the comics, but I'm not a big fan of this version of the elongated man.
Yeah, Plastic. Yeah, historically, Plastic Man. You know what I'm saying? Plastic Man is the first stretchy guy in comics ever.
Yep.
You don't know?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like, you mean
1940s.
even before Mr. Fantastic?
Yes,
Hmm.
Man, Fantastic 1961. Plastic Man was 1940s.
Oh,
Nice.
Plastic
Actually,
Man's a golden age character. You know that?
Hmm.
oh.
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's silly. He's always been silly, by the way, since the golden age.
Animal Man's another one. I think they
Yeah.
did a show out of him though.
No,
Who now?
no, no,
No,
no.
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 He was in the Justice League cartoon one episode.
They did give him some short animation.
Yeah.
Though.
So they give Amethyst, but I said here's the thing. Plastic Man.
The fuck
Pla-
is this? Sorry, I'm gonna share it with you guys real quick. This is too hilarious. In context too.
Yeah, Plastic Man has his own cartoon though. He has his own
Yeah.
cartoon series in the 70s. You know. That nobody remembers or cares about.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
But check that out.
Yeah, it's Plastic Man. He shapeshifted to a girl at one point.
Yeah. Harley Quinn with a junk. That could never not be funny at all.
Oh, I can see that.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
Plastic Man can shapeshift, but with something like that, that's probably up to the Martian Manhunter, because he can do exactly that.
Mhm.
Oh man, and that is crazy.
Yeah. Plastic Man's thing is that he's a comedy focused superhero who stretches. But they don't. DC Comics don't act like they don't want to do anything more with Plastic Man, even though it's been around since the Golden Age. Like says now, like and he's the first stretchy guy. It's like what the hell? Same thing.
Yeah.
But how you not doing? But how you not doing anything with Plastic Man? Same thing with characters like what else? Wasn't those another one? Captain Atom.
Right.
Yeah, like anyone in the classic Justice League, even Zatanna, my favorite heroine in the DC universe, they don't even decide to count her in.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
going to mention her, Zatanna.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Zatanna's a witch. Yeah. They rather use they use one woman for every magical thing rather than have Zatanna like yeah at all. They don't want to use Zatanna at all, and they don't want to use Captain Atom at all. Now
They're
much like
trying
that,
to with that one movie that supposedly is in the production
there's
with The Rock.
Captain Atom.
Not
No,
Captain Adam, but Black Adam.
oh, I said Captain Atom.
Yeah, my bad.
Mhm.
Captain
I
Atom,
misheard.
from Charlton Comics. DC bought Charlton in the 80s. You know,
Yeah.
we got that's how they got the Question and Captain Atom and Blue Beetle. They do stuff with Blue Beetle. They just don't do nothing with Captain Atom or the Question.
Don't know why, but whatever. Now they want Rorschach and everything.
Why don't they use the Question? Rorschach has been made to parody the Question.
I'll tell you why.
He's not like the others. He's so strong and muscly and hot.
Yeah, so true.
Hey.
Justice for Captain Atom.
Justice for Captain Atom.
Well put, Neostar.
Actually, you know it's good. Just like do it for the classic Justice League, because I always imagine the Justice League would just be like the classics, just Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Barry Allen Flash, the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, Aquaman, and the Martian Manhunter. I always imagine the Justice League would have that.
Ooh, take a breath.
Sorry.
You said that in rapid fire succession, dude. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, I always imagined the Justice League would have those characters I said, and because I always imagine that, because that's the Justice League I remember. But yet, so far they just replaced him, Martian Manhunter, with Cyborg. I have no idea why.
I know.
But hey, at least we got Steel and Superman and Lois.
Yeah, they keep using Cyborg as a replacement for Martian Manhunter. They trying to pretend Martian Manhunter either don't exist or they just gonna downplay him to the extreme.
I have no idea. I think it's probably because they just want someone young and
Black.
efficient, even though we already have freaking Batman for the tag.
They all got somebody black.
Yes, the Justice League is already diverse already. Because how can you go so far as to have everyone in the Justice League from an Amazon and Martian, 2 detectives, an air fighter pilot, a king of Atlantis who literally owns 70% of the Earth, and a Kryptonian who's literally destined to be the hero? How can you go so far as diverse than that?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Because DC act like they don't know what to do with some of these characters. Like Captain Atom, they just.
I think they just need to take a damn long break.
Yeah, that even goes the same thing with Marvel. Like the big two, they have to stop making comics for a while. It's even in one stream that I told you guys that I even had this conversation with my dad. Is that the only way everything could even be as perfectly balanced as it can? Everything has to be off the scale.
Off the scale, like how?
Like everyone has to just shut up and look at what they're doing and actually think about it, and then they can keep going. They have to think for themselves. Like that's
just like what Z said in Ants. Think for yourselves.
Yes. That's even exactly what happened to me when I had to when I was actually in college for a while. And then I realized this is actually what's happened to me at the past week, where I was already in college. I went to Indiana State University as part of the Pathway to Blue program that they did, and yet I wanted to be there because my friend, he and I go way back, which I'm not going to name him off for the sake of protection.
Of course.
So he wanted me there, and I said yes. And then some of my other classmates from my school, some of them are even there too. But then, as I kept going, I then realized something that I knew something was wrong. That I knew that I didn't even want to be there. That I always asked, was this really what I wanted? Like, I know I wanted to be an actor and a storyteller. So then why am I not even doing that when I'm doing some already educated classwork when I've already done that? So then I asked myself, do I really want to be here anymore? And I asked this to my parents, and yet they even asked me, is that really what you want? So then I always ask, so then best way to do that, in order to actually pursue my dreams, I had to drop everything from college. Literally everything. So, just I had to
Cue
do
the
that
Guts
just for the
theme
better.
song. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. As you explain that fancy, I'm just playing that thing. I'm playing that theme in my head.
Oh, I thought it sounded like you were playing a pretty bad version of "Made in Heaven" by Queen.
I want to react to one Neo Star Productions comments here. The Justice League is pretty diverse. The problem is the mainstream media would rather turn white characters into minorities than actually use minority superheroes. Because if they really want a black superhero, they'll bring Static back. I mean, well, they did recently, and it screwed it up.
There's a whole plethora of them for DC. Like you said, Static, Black Lightning, Martian Manhunter, even though he is a Martian, but yeah.
You always shapeshift to a black guy.
Yeah.
I'm always.
Steel. We
If you
already have a
guys
black
can't
Superman,
tell,
that's
I'm
Steel.
hissing when I think about those characters and how royally they fucked them up.
Yeah, cause my DC Comics for years it has pretended Stag don't exist.
Oh my goodness!
Then he brought it back, and now it's
I'm
Black Lives Matter.
surprised. I'm sorry, Fizz. I'm surprised I survived season 2 of Black Lightning.
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a Black Lightning TV show.
When one of the sisters called the other sister Harriet, I'm like, bitch, she was not Harriet Tubman at all.
God freaking dang it!
And it focused on racism main plot. Probably, I assume. I didn't watch.
Then
I
they
didn't
got-
watch most CW.
Season 2 almost made me quit because that one white principal that came in.
And you notice that whenever they focus on racism, it's always like white people.
Well,
The stereotypical white racist dude, you know.
I mean, I know the X-Men have been facing a lot of prejudice. I mean, pretty much half of Marvel's characters even face that. But even when they always bring back some of the classic characters, like some of them, they don't even put in as much thought or effort into them as it does just come down to fandom addiction. Like when it comes to fandoms, they don't just like go on the internet and just like squee about the newest episode of The Mandalorian. I don't give a crap about The Mandalorian. Because if you want to see if The Mandalorian's actually good, go watch some of Clint Eastwood's movies.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what The Mandalorian was inspired by. It sounds like a good idea on paper, actually. In fact, I'd be really open to a Clint Eastwood-inspired character in Star Wars. It's just the problem that with The Mandalorian is that I just don't even care.
I don't either. I ain't watched
after the Force Awakens and the rest of those sequels.
Yeah, it's just I don't even care about Star Wars at this point after they just spawned that.
When they said they were going to bring in Ahsoka Tano, even then
they just did for one episode. They even bring in.
And even then, I wasn't even. Even then, I wasn't even watching the series at all. I was like, dude, why y'all bringing Filoni's pet into this mix?
Yeah, and then you had that one spurg over in Professor Geek's channel saying that we were all wrong for saying that Ahsoka was a Mary Sue or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's just that I just
they put her in the orange makeup. What's Starfire's excuse?
Yeah, they literally made Ahsoka that, but I couldn't even care less about her in that show.
Look, I'm sorry. Have you noticed that every Latin or half Latin chica went out of their way to put on the makeup, but not a black girl at all, and made shows that required them to wear makeup?
Well, because that's how they're indoctrinated. You gotta remember, like,
I don't need no white person put this color on my skin.
they need to get on my level.
Whereas you got,
I told you your level sucks.
whereas you got Zoe Saldana as Gamora. You got Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, but none of these black bitches ain't really to do all that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's more oppression for them, so.
I can barely remember which one was it. One black lady that did do the whole makeup thing.
It's just
Are they afraid black gon' crack? I thought black don't crack.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, sorry. Thing is, even when it comes to Ahsoka, I wish I could care for her because I have seen the Clone Wars. I've seen the movie, the Clone Wars film, in the theaters. I do remember that, but it's just I can't even care about Ahsoka anymore. She's just not a character anymore, as she's just now a power set. And yet, so much so, Dave Filoni can even face her against two characters that are not actually a part of the Star Wars canon, like Grand Admiral Thrawn or Darth Revan. Easily the best Sith Lord in the extended Star Wars universe, Darth Revan, somehow face against Ahsoka. What?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yes, it's just
Run that by me one more time.
it's basically where Ahsoka could basically just get Dave Filoni could just basically put Ahsoka against anything. He just made her a power set. So much so is that she could face literally all the fan favorite characters of Star Wars that are not a part of the canon, like Darth Revan, easily the best Sith Lord in the Star Wars EU,
Yeah, man, we're
and
gonna
Grand
fuck all the
Admiral
ass!
Thrawn.
God, don't make it gay, Armin!
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's just I can't even care so much. Why should I care about Ahsoka anymore? Like I could be better off watching the OVA Clone Wars, because that's pretty much a far more convincing version of the extended universe in the Clone Wars, the prequels.
Has
Because the
anybody watched
prequels,
Visions yet?
Huh?
Has anybody watched Visions yet? Star Wars Visions.
Oh, I
No.
refuse to watch that show.
I
Because
didn't.
that show's definitely not Star Wars. It's just anime pretending to be Star Wars.
Especially with that umbrella lightsaber. I'm like, oh, hell to the no.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like when I saw that shit, I'm
if
like,
they're
the first
making
thing on
anime-
my mind is how the fuck you prevent your arms from getting cut by that shit. You see how that shit unfurls? The blades are literally extended so long that any moment, like if that person positions their hand a different way and that stuff closes, she runs the risk of cutting her hand off into shreds, basically.
Yeah, because Kevin Smith is just now like putting anime influence into his own show. Like when he did with Master of the Universe Revelation, he just
This is
made
done by
He-Man-
Kevin Smith?
Huh?
This is done by Kevin Smith?
Yep. Unfortunately.
That makes sense.
Because he
That
literally
explains the
made
furry
He-Man's-
bunny
Prince
alien
Adam's
character.
transformation from He-Man, like Prince Adam to He-Man, into a magical girl sequence. That's why
Right.
it takes so long. And now he's putting anime influences into Star Wars. Like to the point where it's no longer Star Wars anymore.
He's copycatting anime because it happens to be the popular
We
thing right
had
now.
the Star Wars anime. It was called Clone Wars 2003.
Exactly, that's the Star Wars Clone Wars OVA.
I like
And
that
that's
you call it
guess what?
OVA.
I've already said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. That's a more convincing Clone Wars than the first introduction to Ahsoka Tano. I could care less anything about her. Like, she could have been a good character, but she's already gone so far to the point I just don't care about her in general, especially since she's gonna be the center of the freaking universe of Star Wars. I just don't care about Star Wars anymore.
I don't care about Star Wars anymore either.
And
Ditto.
Because of last,
This guy's great.
people stopped caring after the last Jedi.
yeah,
Well,
And
the thing is
you
going
wanna
to be
know
the
what's you wanna
as
know
long
what's
as it's
actually my
behind a
favorite
paywall, I'm
universe
definitely
show?
out.
What'd you say, Trooper?
I was going to say, as long as it's behind a paywall, I'm definitely out because as of this point, they haven't actually produced anything that would entice.
There's no value to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would entice anyone to watch it at this point. So I mean, they can do whatever they want with their characters. I mean, they own them. But case in point is, if you're going to go ahead and do it behind a paywall, the content has to be there. If it's not, then you're just wasting your money, which is the idea. They want you to. So
Exactly.
Mm.
Kind of must be the reason why a lot of streaming services kind of suck.
yeah,
Yeah,
because they know that. Oh, well, what else am I going to watch? They know. They know that you'll resort.
That and the fact that streaming services, TV shows, and streaming services don't have the merit is gone since it doesn't matter how many people watch it. It just matters how many people subscribe to the service. The problem is there's already a lot of people subscribe to the service. So what the hell is going? So what the hell they have to care?
Yeah, a lot of people just pay the freaking bill and go on about their day. They don't care. Like, do they watch it? Probably. And
I'm talking about the creators.
Like
I'm talking about the creators of these TV shows. What the hell does the creators have to care? I mean, they get money anyway from the service. So what the hell? Subscription service. What the hell?
Yeah. Anyways, I was just about to ask, like, do you want to know what's always now been my favorite thing in the extended universe of Star Wars? It's just it's the idea of having Darth Vader having a crippling depression, because I always loved that idea. Because of how Darth Vader, we know he's already a villain, we know he's a powerful Sith Lord, but yet behind that mask is a broken man who's completely lost everything and even himself. Love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
But then here it
He's
is.
not like
just
the
now-
others. He's so strong and muscly and hot.
Mikasa, it's a Titan. It's literally a giant dickless Ken doll with an emo haircut.
Well,
Really?
Pretty much.
Well, well, that's one way of describing it. Kylo Ren at this point, and all the Kylo Ren sycophants.
Oh yeah, and the Ray fans, don't forget.
Oh, the Raylo fans. Good.
No,
grief.
they
Those are probably the same people. Who
No, what they
shit
want to
with-
do is chop that bitch's head off and put their heads on top of her body. They don't care about
Yeah.
Ray. They pretend they act like they do. They don't care. The moment they see Kylo Ren, it's like, I'll chop that bitch's head off for that, man.
I'll tell you one thing
It's
though.
probably the same people who shipped Draco Malfoy with Hermione Granger.
Ah, you can feel it, dude! You can feel it!
Pretty much.
Actually, you know what's good? They just like ship literally anyone in Harry Potter they would ship. Even so far, I'm not going to be surprised if they would even ship Harry with Draco, despite that these two are enemies.
Yeah, the shippers aren't exactly known for their brains.
They're
Yeah.
none. Oh man.
By the way, actually Kylo Ren is one of the inspirations for one of my villains. What other Final
Nothing wrong with
Fantasy?
that.
Kylo Ren is one of the inspirations for one of my villains. Called Skull Reacher, who's the arch nemesis of one of my superior number 6, Captain Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Skull Reacher is basically like Kylo Ren, but he has Dr. Octopus powers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
In other words, the arms.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was meant to check the chat, but I hit the wrong button.
As usual, never change.
Must
Final.
be on your phone.
Never change. Final.
Okay.
It happens, but never change, man.
Oh yeah.
To which I say,
Mikasa! Why is Aaron being useless?
Right.
Oh, good grief. I need to get this on my computer.
just look for a slap on Titan.
No, like the MeWe on my computer. I know I need to get that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just search up MeWe and you'll be fine.
Okay, anyway.
Final's like,
Sick and tired of all this shit!
Aren't we all, my friend?
Yeah. No, definitely.
it's like the moment he sees Ahsoka, he's like,
Dude, what? She is totally a bitch.
I'll tell you one thing though. Ray ain't no Alice Landale.
no, she ain't. Y'all ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, most
Okay, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I know, Fizz, you got a lot to say. We can pick this up another time. And you can,
Okay. I know. I probably call in for this night. Gotta eat dinner anyway.
You want to join us for the manga read? The manga study?
Manga study of what?
Inuyashiki.
I probably I will. I'll probably read a couple issues. Yeah. When's that? When's that?
Next Tuesday. You got enough time for that? Or at least at least the first 2-3 chapters?
Yeah.
Because we're going 5 chapters.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
But there ain't no shame in you having it on the side so that you can follow along.
I don't know. I don't know. I might be watching La Brea, that new TV show. What I'm interested in. Has been advertised. I don't know. Yeah, La Brea.
Okay.
So I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying, like, if you want to join us, just have the manga with you on the side so that you don't feel
Okay.
lost.
Okay, I will.
All right.
So bye bye.
Take it
Don't
easy,
leave
guys.
now. We gotta sign up first.
No, I would.
Don't worry, I
I'd be
make the
like,
same mistake.
be like, bye.
Right. He ready to dip out already. I'm like, bro, I haven't even ended the stream yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I already left because I was already laughing so much on the last stream.
It's
But,
like, hey, peace out, biatches. I'll catch you on the next one. Like,
Neil's
don't
giving
get
us a
wrecked.
phone. I kind of feel bad for Kylo Ren. Imagine being the next major Sith Lord, but looking / acting like a stereotypical whiny emo kid.
I'm sure they
Pretty
yeah,
much.
he's an emo
do
kid
that
just
dude
pretending to be Darth
differently, and then
Vader.
he's like,
Dude,
"This
it's
is
not our
it?
fault you
Well, I already
suck."
signed the contract, so."
Anyways,
Let's get to
I'd like
it.
to thank everybody for joining us. Those that were a few of you, but I'm pretty sure if I look back on this shit, there's a lot of views on it.
Right.
So something's happening on behind the scenes in YouTube. Usually I have like 22. About a lot. I don't know what's going on with YouTube these days, but whatever. Our usual suspects are here, and that's all that matters. Neo, Melissa, Child, Eloise, even Samuel Lee. Did I miss anybody?
No,
I
no.
don't
Ooh,
think
swell
so.
up.
That's it.
I think I got everybody.
Yeah, you got everybody.
Anyways, thank you, Fish, for joining us again. Thank you, Final, for joining us as well. Love having you guys here.
Yeah.
Trooper, Brian, you
Yep.
guys. Let's start with Brian.
Yeah, it was a great stream for everybody, and I hope everybody in the chat had a good time. If you like this, leave a comment below and like and subscribe. And this has been Brian Gilmartin. No damage to report. Moving to next area.
Trooper Fan 2525.
As always, it was super fantastic on this wonderful Thursday to hang out with y'all. Just go ahead and just make sure you hit that bell. Make sure your notifications are on. As always, YouTube is always screwing up. That's nothing new. Definitely go ahead and fill the comments in. It helps the algorithm out. And as always, we're on MeWe. So if you want to catch more of our content or any of our posts or even do some chatting, we're on MeWe.com. You know where to find us. This is
Exactly.
Trooper
Follow
Fan
the
2525 signing out.
Yes, follow the MeWe group, the UN Space Sea Wolf Squadron, or the Wolf Fleet, rather. Final.
Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications to get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to Wolf 10 Media if you haven't. And always remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
I
Uh,
love
All right,
and,
Fish, Chozo.
and please subscribe to my channel. I will do some interesting things in the future.
Of course. Looking forward to that, buddy.
Okay. So bye bye everybody.
Okay. That's the sign out, I guess.
Wait, let's go.
So,
Go
anyways,
away now.
guys, that's all I got today. Go away now.
Oh, you're not
That's all I got for
critical
today.
drinker.
Right.
Go away now.
Hey, Titania, give me my drink already. And while you're at it, make me a sandwich.
What's
Anyway.
He's gonna get
Yeah,
drunk and
and
start
I
a YouTube
fizzled out.
channel?
Excuse me. Wow.
Now I fizzled out. Goodbye.
Choked on my own damn sweat. Take care. All right. Anyways, so next Tuesday, manga study for Inuyashiki. Thursday, that's still open. Maybe another chill stream until next week, which is on the 12th. We'll be doing the anniversary of Wolf Commander Rambles, where you guys can come in and roast the Wolf Commander.
Mhm.
Come on, I know you guys got some animosity towards me. You've been holding for a while now.
Nah,
Let it
but
all.
Don't.
If I did, you know.
I couldn't do that, man.
He said, "If I do, you know." Of course, I
Yeah.
know. Which hopefully the Leia Val will be recovered by then, and she'll probably join us, and she'll be like,
Yeah, I missed
"Oh,
her already.
oh, Wolf, you always be teasing me with those Steve Rogers clips."
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you always tease her with the shirtless, muscular guy clips.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's what she goes for.
I just know her weakness. It's like you make it too easy, girl. When you start talking about your cap, I deliver. I have to. Like let's see if she could keep a straight face while she explaining her point. But anyways, so like I said, be ready for that. For whatever is going on before then, hopefully we'll have that together, or rather, I'll have that together. Um, Definitely in the future, we'll be bringing back representation versus identity validation once the Lady of Valor comes back. Maybe we'll talk about mysteries and murder mysteries, or when is best to kill kill off characters in your story. That's something I've been pondering about for a while. I will be preparing another fantasy studio office. What will be? I would say let's start with I'm gonna flip a coin on this one. Either Marvel Phase 5 or Kaiju or Dark Universe, where we talk about what we would do if we were doing the Dark Universe.
Right.
And I'll get back to you guys on MeWe about that. See what we can come up with about those stories. Even though the MonsterVerse is actually pretty good for what it is, and its success and its accomplishments. I like to think we can try that out. What would we do if we were helming a kaiju, or rather, not just do a what we would do if we were helming the MonsterVerse, more of what can we do to add to the kaiju movie genre, especially
Right.
for the West,
Mm-hmm.
for the West side of things, where we create our own kaiju movies.
Right.
I mean, I really want to push you guys into use your imagination off the cuff on this one.
Right.
I mean, I have been thinking of making my own monsters, but not necessarily a kaiju size.
Yeah.
Well, you better start thinking big, man. Because if that comes up, most likely I'll probably be picking that one for the next fantasy studio office. If you want to be with us that day, fantasy, and that definitely will be a Tuesday because Schooner will be definitely part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to be tailoring this to sometimes Tuesday streams, so that we can have at least like a full house for this one. But anyways, guys, just to remind you guys, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet. You guys gonna crit? Anyways, boy, get you a microphone.
Get a mic, boy.
Get you a microphone. I
I
don't
want
care
to hear that voice of yours, man.
I don't care if it's the cheapest shit you could find. Get you a mic.
Hey, I just have the mic on my laptop.
You freaking voicing your enthusiasm. You better get your ass on here one of these days, Neo. And while you at, you bring in your version of Rise of Man theme song.
Yes, I am very curious.
Rise of Man, Kari Kiri Kuka, Rise of Man. Here's a kick, pow!
We haven't heard that one in a while.
With the power of 10 children, you become Bubbles.
Right.
Have you played Michael Jackson Moonwalker?
I actually, my stepbrother had it on
Okay.
Genesis.
Nah.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, let's leave this off on the bang.
Mikasa! Why is Aaron being useless?
He went into a rage after transforming and knocked himself out. We can't get him to wake up or respond.
Really?
Armin!
I mean, seriously?
Yeah, Armin,
I couldn't do that if I tried! He had one fucking job to do, and he knocked himself out!
Armin, I literally do not have the